Hey everybody, Canje here for another playthrough. Welcome to Deep Madness Sundays, where I will be going through the Deep Madness campaign and loving every single moment of it. Um, this game. So, what got me into this game, right? First, I saw it on Kickstarter and I was like, okay, this looks pretty cool. It's kind of like a Deep Star 6 feel for people who know about Deep Star 6. It's a great sci fi horror way back when. Probably aging myself a little bit, but I liked that movie and I liked a lot of other movies like it. And I backed Deep Madness when it came out, kind of went a little all in on it. So I've got minis to replace some of the cardboard things in the doors and whatnot. But we're going to get into that and have some fun, play it through. Hopefully, I won't die a bunch. If Dark Souls Sundays had anything to do with it prior to this, I died a lot. So we're going to play through this. Hopefully, I won't die and things will go great. But let me tell you what got me into saying, okay, I want to play this game. This. Oh, and it looks like it pushed my rating thing down some, which was weird. Yeah, well, that's how that stuff goes. Let's see, we could get rid of it. So and I know my screen's like showing, oh, look, he can see all of his background. Doesn't matter. We can fix that in quick, fast, and a hurry. Oop, that's not the hurry we're going for. There you go. Now you just see me. Yes, I'm operating with a very low budget. It's not the greatest. Whatever. So I saw this movie coming out, and I was like, seems interesting. It has an interesting vibe feel. It could be a movie that's scary or giving me that nice sci-fi thrill that I'm looking for. I watched it. It isn't the best movie, but it made me want to play Deep Madness because it reminded me so much of everything I saw on the Kickstarter for this game. I joined the Facebook page. They are a great bunch of people who have a Deep Madness Facebook page. You should check it out. And from there, I was like, okay, I need to play this game. I need to play this game. I need to play this game. So I went about getting it all set up, and we'll get down to the board so you can see in a second. But I went around getting it all set up, and we're going to go through it together. I've never played a single scenario. That's right. We're going to do it together for the first time. I asked questions on the Facebook page that I wasn't too sure of, but I got my answers, and we're ready to go. So let's get some information, and then we'll go from there. And I'm not like, if you want to see a sci-fi movie that you're like, okay, I want to see a good underwater deep mining facility horror sci-fi movie, you check this out. Don't expect much, but it's good. Well, it's okay. Okay, so Deep Madness. Deep Madness was created by Roger Ho and published by the Dimension Games. Large amount of artists went into doing this work. It is terrifying and scary from the cards that I saw, some of the monsters as I looked around. So you're going to be scared, I'm going to be scared, we're going to be scared together, and hopefully we won't go crazy. All right, let's get down to the table. You're tired of me talking about this, and let's get to it. Hey Kate, how you doing? Alrighty. This is the first level that I've already set up for you. I haven't picked the starting characters because we're going to pick them out together. I know for a fact, because I'm representing, I'm going to be bringing Sam Smith with me. But the other three, because this is a 1 to 6 player game, basically if you play solo, you would control 4 people. If you play, and you can control up to 6 if you're really feeling bold. But yeah, I'm taking Sam with me, and you'll pick my other 3 who's going to come along. They all have backstories that's on the back of the cards. I'm going to read the backstory. I'm going to read the intro. I'm going to do all this stuff, and we're going to play this thing for the first time, get into it. I don't know if anybody's ever played it, so if you have and you know rules and I screw up, I'm one that loves feedback, so let me know in the chat or in the comments after the stream's over. I will resolve it for second playthrough because we're going through this entire campaign. We're going to make it work. So, break out the old man glasses, because you know I'm blind. and we're gonna get into the story. All right. Welcome to Kadath. Ladies and gentlemen, David announces, may I be the first to introduce you to the Kadath Deep Sea Mining Facility. You peer through the viewport of the sprawling underwater metropolis as it crouches in the crags of the sea floor under a thick blanket of ethereal lights. You've always wondered what it would be like to visit Atlantis, but you never imagined it would be so surreal. Take us in nice and easy, David, the captain Samuel Smith says. No need to rush. Of course, sir, David says. Samuel pats David's shoulder, then turns his attention once again to communication. Kadath Station. This is the Lang Corporation submersible Enlightened Day on a docking course for Pad 1. So the submersible is called Enlightened Day. Please acknowledge, over. He is greeted only by static. Feeling a presence to your right, you turn to see Randy Carter staring out at the Silopticon facility beside you. She shivers. There's something kind of creepy about it, isn't there? You're not wrong, you reply with a chuckle. Kadath Station. This is the submersible Enlightened Day on a docking course for Pad 1, Samuel says again. Please acknowledge, over. Calm crackles. Samuel looks at it, his eyes widening in surprise as a voice rises above the static. It's happening again, Samuel. The submersible shakes violently, sending you and Randy sprawling. Take your seats, everybody, David exclaims. We seem to be experiencing some unexpected turbulence. You help Randy back to her seat, and the two of you snap in your safety harness at this as the sub moans around you. What's our status, David? Samuel barks. I'm frankly not sure, sir, David says. The submersible shudders again as warning klaxons blare. The hull groans, then screeches. A spray of water spurts in the middle of the submersible. Sensors are indicating some very strange readings. It seems we're being crushed. Samuel dons a headset. He frowns. What in the name of... Then he gasps. Dock us, David, Samuel cries. Dock us now, or we're not going to make it. There's something out there. The hull screams again. Looking up, you see it's shifting around your head. David slams down on the propulsion nub, sending the sub rocketing towards the station. A cacophony of shrieks reverberates throughout the sub, and jets of water spurts through a seam as the hull visibly crumbles inward. You're all going to die here. The submersible plows into the docking pad, spinning as metal is mangled and structures squeal. Something smacks into your head, and the world goes black. Well, that was an intro. So, for people kind of catching up, we are in a submersible, the Enlightened Day, trying to get to Kadath Deep Mining Facility, and we're getting no responses. All of a sudden, something starts crushing the sub, and we rocket into the sub bay, crashing in, and something knocks us in the head and knocks us out. So let's see who is going to wake up from this. All these survivors, which is 6 of them, like I said, if you want to play the 6, they're called investigators, not survivors, but all these investigators, but I'm going to call them survivors, came in, and we're going to see who crawls out from the sub and just do a quick intro of them. I'm taking Samuel Smith. So we have with him, and I'll let you post in the chat while I read his backstory, Roman Asimov, the biochemist, Jared Drake, the soldier, Randy Carter, the researcher, Felicia Armitage, the doctor, and Arthur Whalen, the engineer. So remember, Roman, Jared, Randy, Felicia, and Arthur. So decide on who you want to come with, Samuel, as I read his backstory. There's a big heart powering Samuel Smith's considerable brawn. That's why he was undone when the submarine he was captaining had a terrible accident, resulting in the death of everyone aboard except himself. Taking a leave of absence, Samuel turned to alcohol to fill the empty void in his chest. They called it survivor's guilt. He called it his personal purgatory. Why him? Why had he survived? Why couldn't he save them? When the alcohol failed to do much more than give him splitting headaches, Samuel embraced something he hadn't thought of since his childhood, his faith. It was there that he finally found the healing he desperately sought. His friends noticed the change in him, and it wasn't long before they were calling him preacher, both as a gentle barb and as a marker of the man he'd become. It was some time later that Samuel was approached by a representative of the Lane Corporation. They told him something had happened at the Kadath facility, and they needed him to lead a team down there to investigate. All at once, Samuel felt every muscle in his body tighten into knots. They wanted him to lead, but how could he ever do that again? At the same time, he knew he had to take action. If there was innocent lives trapped down there, he couldn't leave them to whatever fate lay in store. In the end, he said yes. He desperately hoped he wouldn't come to regret his decision. Hey Hans, how you doing? So, I've got Sam Smith with me, and he will be my first investigator slash survivor. So who should we take next? You just have to pick one. So Arthur, Felicia, Randy Carter, Jared Drake, or Roman Asimov. Let's see. I'm not even reading their abilities just yet because I don't want that to influence this decision. We're going to make it thematic. We will rise and fall by our decisions, but they will be my investigators for the campaign should they survive. If they don't, I'll find a way to work somebody else in. Can you read the names and titles again? Sure. We have Arthur Whalen, and let me get a good view of him for you. So we've got Arthur Whalen, the engineer. We've got Roman Asimov, the biochemist. We've got Jared Drake, the soldier. Randy Carter, the researcher. And Felicia Armitage, the doctor. And I'll hold these names out here so you can see them. I know my hand's a little shaky, I'm sorry. So, that's who we're running with. And I'll explain what all these numbers mean when we start playing, but I don't want their special abilities to confuse anything. I'll say while you're thinking, I'll pick the second one. I'm gonna pick Felicia. And so you can decide between. No, you're picking two more. So I picked two, you're gonna pick two for me. So you pick two of the four that you see here. So while you do that, let me read Felicia Armitage's backstory while you check these ones out. And I will try to as best as I can. Felicia knows she's not an easy person to like, but in her eyes, this cold, brutal world leaves little room for wasteful softness or saccharine sentiment. Felicia was 10 years old when her parents died in a fire. Shortly after, Child Services threw her into an orphanage. There she learned to look out for herself because no one else would. As she matured, Felicia grew intensely curious about what made people tick. Applying herself wholeheartedly to studying medicine, she soon entered a residency in one of America's top teaching hospitals. Her fervor cooled, however, as her patients all blurred into one big human lump. It all became so uninteresting, so bland. Not the science itself, but rather the people she had to practice that science on. Before long, she and the hospital agreed to part ways as the complaints piled up, branding her as cold, callous, or unfeeling. Sexist, right? Upon leaving the hospital, Felicia decided to get as far away from humanity as she could and to focus instead on marine biology. It was at this point she was discovered by several of the Lane Corporation's top researchers, all of whom felt she would be an asset to the company. Dr. Armitage's early work from the corporation did indeed prove promising, but when communication was lost with Kadath mining facility, her previous experience as a medical doctor ensured her a front row seat with the first responders. She should have stayed at the hospital. Yeah, because if like a guy would have done it, it'd have been like, oh, he's bold. It's jerky. So I think she's awesome, so I'm picking her. We won't let that bother. So who do you got for me next? We've got Arthur the engineer, Roman the biochemist, Jared the soldier, and Randy Carter the researcher. Arthur and Roman? Arthur and Roman. Alright. Other two goodies go back to the box. as they won't be with us, let's go through Roman Asimov. Very little is known, and this is probably blurry, so you're like, straighten your screen before you blind us. Very little is known about Dr. Asimov, and what is said about him mainly consists of vague rumors or insane wives' tales. There are stories that he has worked with some of the most controversial doctors employed by the Lane Corporation, though they themselves are little more than ghosts in the company. There are rumblings that he has been able to radically alter others' views of reality by manipulating their visual cortexes and the chemical receptors in their brains. Uh-oh. Warping their consciousness to his whims. Uh-oh. There are rumors that he has spliced together terrible creatures from human bodies. There is even a rumor that he is part of some criminal or cultist organization. But that's all they are, rumors. What is known to be solid fact, though, is that he is not an employee of the Lane Corporation, but instead an outside consultant, and that he comes with the highest recommendations from some of the top executives in the corporation, including the company's CEO, Meredith Waite herself. Dr. Asimov joined the team as a biochemist under the guise that whatever has happened at Kadath might have involved a biological contaminant of some kind. Or even with his thin excuse, gave some of his fellow investigators pause for thought. After all, why do the Lang executives expect a contagion or other biological agent to be at work in Kadath? Why do they know that they aren't? What do they know that they aren't sharing? It's possible that Dr. Asimov might have some ideas, but if he does, he's not telling. Yep, mad scientists. We got a mad scientist on our hands, so he is with us. And then we've got Arthur Wayland. Even as a boy, Arthur exhibited a great aptitude for discovering how things worked. Born into a wealthy family, he had practically limitless resources at his disposal. These passions fueled him throughout his education until he graduated from one of the nation's top colleges. Upon graduating, he announced that he would pursue his interest in the field of engineering rather than taking over his family's prominent, powerful business. His parents were far from surprised, but objected nonetheless. However, their protest quickly faded as their son's remarkable talent began to earn him fame, prestige, and wealth of all of his own. Unfortunately, Arthur's drive and his occasional willingness to fight dirty finally ruined him. When news of his immoral business practices was leaked to the press, a firestorm ensued that ended with him leaving his firm, fighting multiple lawsuits, and retracting completely from the public eye. That's when the Lane Corporation offered him a position as a lead engineer in their company. Arthur jumped at the chance for one of his first projects. The executive asked him to travel to an installation that had previously been compromised. It was a critical facility for their operations, and they needed one of their brightest minds to look it over. Make sure it was still functional, and figure out a way to save it if it wasn't operating to plan. Arthur accepted the challenge, and shortly thereafter found himself departing for Kadath deep-sea mining facility. So we've got an engineer who kind of was disgraced by what he did. We've got a mad scientist, let's just call him that. We've got a doctor who doesn't take people's crap and is a really great doctor. And then we got my boy Sam, preacher, who basically will try his best to be good for everybody. Okay, so let's take a look at what we're dealing with. Like I said, it's the first time we're playing. We're going to get into. I want to make sure that we got something good here. So, when we look at Sam, we look at his health, which is 10, his sanity, which is 3, his escape value, which is 4, and then he starts off with an SMG. He's the captain, and he's got some abilities. So this one ability says, once per activation, you may move a non-epic monster on the board one space towards you. So that means he's like yelling at it, being like, come get me, because he's rather it go to him than his friends. And then no one left behind, so you may exhaust 1 sanity to ignore monster's trap and or choose an investigator in your space to move with you. So basically, I can huff somebody over my shoulder and take them with me, exhausting 1 sanity to do it. So sanity, he only has 3 that he can do. Sanity is basically not, it's something that says that I can re-roll a die. So if I roll dice, I don't get a success, which is a 5 or 6. I can burn sanity up to my max to say, okay, I will re-roll 1 die up to 3 times, right? And when I hit 3, if I don't take an action to rest to remove the sanity, when I engage a monster, I flip the sanity into madness. And if I get madness, I have to draw from this deck. And that deck has nothing good in it. So that's him. Felicia has 8 health and 3 sanity with a 5 escape value, and her special ability says, once per activation, you may perform a free move action. Nice. So she gets a free move action. You'll be fine is her act, and her action says, heal 1 wound from an investigator in your space. Alternatively, exhaust 1 sanity to roll a die and heal X amount divided by 2 rounded up wounds from that investigator instead, and she starts with a scalpel. So we got a healer. Cool. Mad Scientist face. Of course, his sanity is 5 because he's a mad scientist, but he's got 9 health, 4 escape value, and it says, attack. Each monster's resistance is reduced by 1 during this attack. Resistance is their shielding, so if I attack them, then if they have a resistance, then they block that much damage before it gets through. We've played that in multiple games before. And then Splicing Reality. During your activation, you may exhaust 1 sanity to mark a non-epic monster. That monster's resistance is reduced by 1 for each marker it has. Take back the markers after the monster is removed. This ability does not count as an action, and you may use it multiple times. So, cool. He's got that's a nice ability. So I can just cut non-epic monsters. So, epic monsters are the bosses, and non-epic is everything else. All right, and then we've got Arthur Wayland. Health 8, sanity 4, and he's got, because of the dubious practices, 5 escape value, and it says, something unusual. Search. You may reveal 3 search cards when I search. Choose 1 to keep and discard the others. And then Fighting Dirty. Before rolling the die for an attack, you may exhaust 1 sanity to add something to it. Cannot combine with other abilities or cards. Limit 1 per action. So, cool. Cool. And these things that you see here are drowning dice, so they start with 6 oxygen. These areas that you see in blue, these are submerged. All these areas are underwater. And I asked the question in the Facebook of what happens if I go through a hatch that's not submerged to a submerged hatch. Does that mean that I let water in and flood my area? And the answer was no. Basically, think of this, even though it's flat, it's multi-leveled. So I'm popping the hatch, going into where it's water and actually moving and swimming about. Now, for every space that I move, I tick this thing down. And what happens is I take it from 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 0, 1, 0, and then I have to roll a die here. And if I roll that die, I suffer damage. If I don't succeed. Don't succeed. Uh-oh, it's getting dangerous. I'm either dead or I'm still drowning. And at the point when it gets to red, you're drowning, and then there's the skull, and you're dead. And that's how underwater breathing works. So each one of them starts out with 6. And we have some people starting off with some abilities. Now, you know I shuffle for shenanigans, but we got some people starting off with some abilities. Preacher Sam starts off with an SMG, and I'll get that out because I pre-shuffled, but I'm going to shuffle it again. So it's in here somewhere. Watch, it's at the top, right? I'm like going through the entire... Oh, here it is. She starts off... Felicia starts off with a scalpel, and they don't start off with anything. All right, so I'll shuffle that deck, but let's take a look at Preacher's starting weapon. So he has an SMG. Attack. You may exhaust 1 sanity to roll 2 additional dice. You may use this effect multiple times. This is the range, so I can hit things 2 squares away from me. That's how much dice I roll. 5. Well, yeah, 5 dice. That's how much it takes to succeed on a hit, is a 5 or above, and that's how much damage it does per success, which is 1. And Felicia's weapon is the scalpel. Attack. After a target monster is killed, you may restore 1 sanity. You may do this before taking madness. So that's good. I roll 1 die, a 3 plus is a success, and a 2, and it does 2 damage. So that's her starting weapon. And that's it. And they don't have starting weapons. They don't have anything showing here other than what they have. So let's go through some stuff really quick. Like I said, we're about to get into it. This is just the build up, episode 1. After that, we'll be playing and we'll be going through it. This, oh, I'm blurry because you don't want to see that. All right. This is the investigator deck. It has another name, which it's called the consciousness deck. The consciousness deck basically says if I kill a monster and I haven't taken any sanity, I haven't lost any sanity or used any sanity, I get to pull a card from here. And what happens is when I pull a card from here, it's more about the stories of what happened at the facility. So it's me like finding a recording or a notebook or a sheet of paper that reads out or tells me what happens, and then it gives me something. If I have exhausted 3 sanity, and I flip them over in the monsters, and I flip them over per how much the monster has, and I'll go through that too. When I get to 3 madness, I draw a madness card. Never, ever, ever good. The madness cards are crazy. This is the item deck. This is the track that we're gonna do to go through. Once it makes it to the end, I lose. So we're starting off here at the beginning of the story, and I'll read the story to you and what's happening. We'll go through each one. Flooded areas. These little tokens, which are probably going to be hard for you to see, so every single time I'm going to lift one up, but you can see it here like this -1. These areas that you see in red are called devoured areas. And I know this sounds like a lot. Bear with me. It's not. It's just explaining the game. It's like playing a game and you're like, oh my gosh, there's so many rules. There's not. It's just setup. I'm just helping you understand what's going on before we get into the story, and then everything's going to move smooth as butter. So those little things, these red areas are called devoured rooms. And these devoured rooms have effects, which are here. The effects are bad. So if I end my turn in one of these areas, devoured room areas, I will suffer that effect. Especially if a monster, it could come from losing health, losing sanity, gaining a madness, having to roll 1 less die when I do an attack. It's just all bad. And then we got these lovely things, and these came with the Kickstarter. Well, yeah, with the Kickstarter that I backed. And as you can see, these are called, these are basically spawn areas, right? So these are where monsters pop up. And those are, think about them like if you ever played Zombicide, where they're at the edge of the board, there's like the spawn tokens. That's what those are. And every single time I pull a monster card, because I will pull a monster card every turn, that's where the monsters are going to pop up. This game, from what I've heard, is very hard, and the first level is even more so. But we are going to make it because Canji's with you. So remember, these tokens here are flooded, and then these are objective tokens. These are things that I need to do to complete the scenario so we can say, okay, well, we succeeded instead of going crazy. So we'll get our minis, and I'll show you these lovely, lovely minis. That's Sam, Preacher. There he is. It's a really nice mini. It's put together really well. I know a lot of people will be like, oh, it's not the greatest, but you know what? I like it. So, whatever. So, he'll start here. The next one up is Felicia. This is her. To be fair, it's a cooperative game. Everything is trying. That's true. That is true. That is true. And Hans, you're right. This game is going to punish me hard, but we're going to make it through. So, this is Felicia. I know it's hard to see like brown on brown, you know, but I'm trying. So, but that's her. All right, she'll be there. Next one is Doc Crazy. Roman Asimov, the Doctor. So that's him. And Arthur Wayland, the engineer. That's what he looks like. Got a little backpack too. And we all start here. So we know their backstory. We'll talk about how stuff is played out. I will set up the death-defying death of things, and we will fight monsters. Let's get into our story. And I'll explain stuff as we go through so you don't feel completely lost. But we're going into Storybook Chapter 1, Sprawling Asphyxia. Yes, I used the Target receipt for my bookmark because that's what I had. Don't judge me. So, let's see. Someone touches your shoulder and you groan as your eyes crack open. Dr. Felicia Armitage stands above you. Her expression serves as she wraps bandages and gauze around your head. You'll survive, she says curtly. Pulling yourself up, you realize you aren't in the submersible any longer. You seem to be outside an airlock. In fact, and you're alive. Are you okay? Roman asks, placing her hand. Oh, sorry, no. Nope, roll it back. So, because you're playing 6-player, you're supposed to be playing 6-player, the story is written as if it's written that all 6 are playing. So, I'm going to say that they're there, but we're not playing with them. Are you okay? Randy asks, placing her hand on your arm. Doc says I'll make it, you reply with a lopsided smile. We need to get moving, Jared Drake says. Agreed, Samuel replies. Gather your things, everyone. It's time we figure out what's been going on here. Having salvaged what they could from the mutilated remains of the enlightened day, the team slowly advances into the facility. The place is eerily silent. Occasionally, whirls or clicks issues from various systems or machines, but there is no beat of life. No sign that men and women still call this place home. However, there are plenty of hints that they used to. Everywhere you look are indications of struggle and abandonment. I suppose we can rule out structural failure, Arthur Willen says. Then you all see the blood. So basically, sorry. It is painted up one wall and down another as if the corridor is a master's canvas. Everyone stares at the macabre scene, mesmerized, and as you do, you feel the dread that's been slowly creeping into your mind blossom into a terror that clamps down in your heart and gnaws at your soul. Ooh. Drake approaches the blood and scratches at it. It's been dry for quite a while, he says. This party's over. Dr. Roman Asimov clears his throat. I hate to disrupt everyone from this engrossing display, he says. But has anyone else noticed that the air seems to be thinning? Arthur turns to a console that is positioned along one wall of the corridor and powers it on. He cycles through the environmental settings. He's right, Arthur says. Oxygen levels are dropping rapidly. Samuel takes a deep breath. All right, people. Going back's not an option. So let's figure out what happened here and find a way to fix the oxygen bleed before we all suffocate. All in favor? Closing your eyes, you nod. Let's do it. It's probably just the tension getting to you, but you can't help but wonder why you see the image of a green swirling sphere pulsating behind your eyelids. And that's where we begin. Our job, should we choose to accept it, you and your fellow investigators are trapped in an oxygen-starved section of the Kadath facility. You have 2 objectives. Try to discover what happened to the station and find a way to restore oxygen before the whole team suffocates. There is one room that contains a console where you can reroute oxygen and save lives, but you can only find it after collecting all necessary clues. That's the room with the oxygen. Those are my clues. And some of these are in extremely hazardous locations. What happened to the people in this place, and what was that banging, scratching sound down the corridor? You're about to find out. Yay! Alright, so any special rules? Investigators in the same space with a clue token gains the investigate ability. Acquire the clue if there is a successor token. So basically we investigate, we have to roll, and if we get a success, we acquire it. We need both of them, and then we need to get over here, and then there's story to read of the scenario. All 3 clue tokens have been placed on the objective. So Yep, that's it. Alright. We are ready to start and have some fun. Okay, so let's get this road on the show. So, over here. And then what we do, these are our lovely monsters. And you know I love to shuffle live, so you don't think I've set anything up and being like, oh no, he positioned it the way he wanted to. So shuffle for shenanigans is what it has been dubbed. And that is what it shall be. So we'll shuffle these through. Alright, so who are our monsters that we're going to be facing this turn? We will be facing the Husk. Yeah, it's a little dark. And this was one of the complaints of some people saying like the cards were way too dark to see, but I'm going to hold them up as best as I can for you to see. So this is a Husk. Yeah, it's terrifying. And those are 3 arms. So it has a horror value of 1. When it attacks, it hurts you for 1. It has 4 health, and you see these numbers here at the bottom? That's its resistance or shielding. It doesn't have any. On its turn, it's going to move, attack if anyone's there, and then do its special ability, which is place the Mind Eater card on the left side of the activation track. Okay, that's setup. Sorry, I'll do that in a second. It's special here. Spawn 1 Mind Eater in this Husk space and activate it once immediately. So we'll have to put the Mind Eater card when it comes out. So that's our first monster. And yeah, I know that's kind of bright and blurry. I'll try to make it a little better. Next up, the Twisted. 2 horror value. All right, so notice down here, it has 2. That's its shield. So I have to hit it for more than 2 to put damage through to hit this thing for 5. This thing is going to hurt. It probably is. It's a bunch of hands just kind of pulling down the hallway. There's this one movie, it's kind of like they're on this ship and a techno alien comes down and takes over one of the guys and like builds into his brain, right? So you see this like tech thing coming out of head. And all the guy can keep saying is his friend's name over and over again. I think the guy's name was like Steve. So he was just like, Steve, Steve, Steve. And it was the most grotesque, horrifying thing I've ever seen. So it hits you for 2. It has move and attack. So it's attack, roll the monster die, which I'll show you, at the end of the attack. And on the eye, the target investigator resolves 1 madness card. So I don't even get madness to get a madness card. I just get a madness card. This symbol here says that if it happens in a devoured room, then the Twisted gains 1 something that I'll read about in a second. So it hits for 2. That's its escape value. That's its horror value. So the Twisted comes out. Who's next? Oh yes, I draw 6 of these things. Oh yes. Next up, the Ravenous. Look at that guy. He looks like he wants to give you the biggest kiss. All right, the Ravenous. 1 horror value, hits for 1, has 2 health. He does a move attack. Set up, place the cannibal card beside the board. Oh god. So attack the target investigator gains resistance -1. So I lose resistance for each Ravenous in the same space. So that means that if I have, and there's items that gives you shielding. So if I have shielding, when he's in my space, it's -1 from that shielding. When it's on a, basically when it's on a devoured space, it gets a shield. After all the Ravenous have been activated, if there are 2 Ravenous in the same space, replace them with a cannibal. So they kind of merge together in this most disgusting display of awfulness. Yikes. Okay, that's 3 down, 3 to go. The Hysteria. It's a winged creature, yes, an awful, awful winged creature because it possesses you. And when you're possessed, bad things happen. So that's its special. So it possesses, then it moves, attacks. So once it possesses, it takes you over and then it pushes you. I have to give them kudos for the art. It's fantastic. Yeah, it is fantastic and gross. 2 health, 1 shield, 2 escape value. Attack. The target investigator is possessed by the Hysteria at the end of the attack. And then in a devoured space and is slowed. So slowed means I have to waste an action to move. 4. The Blind. It hits for 2. You can see I'm gonna die, right? So it hits for 2, 2 shielding, 2 health. Blind, for its move action, Blind moves towards the nearest investigator in line of sight. And then it has a special that choose an investigator in this Blind's line of sight to be weakened. And once again, weakened is I lose an action, which is awful. It's just awful. One more to go. The putrid. It's pretty putrid. It's really Deep Star 6 vibes here. So it hits for 2, and you lose a sanity, and it has 1 shielding and 6 health. Attack roll. I roll the monster die at the beginning of the attack. On a bite mark, the target investigator must discard 1 search. And on a devoured space, after putrid takes wounds, each investigator in the same space take a wound. Okay, those are the 6. Those are the 6 that we will be taking, and there was a nicer Ravenous that I could have pulled, but no, I had to get the hard one. All right, so he said, place the Mind Eater card on the left side of the activation track. Mind Eater card. Oh, that's this guy. The Mind Eater card. Oh, yes. The Mind Eater is always activated first during the activation phase. And there they are. So now I don't deal with 6. I deal with more than 6. So he'll go here. Oh, you probably can't see that. Yeah, my tiny space is working against me, so I'll put him here. Actually, I don't want to lose track of him. I'll put him here. And then there's another setup one. Place the Cannibal card beside the board. Cannibal card. I don't know that one. I don't think I have that one. Let me see if I have that one. Because I have like all the expansions and stuff. Ah, here it is. Oh god. Oh no. I'm gonna show you this Cannibal card, and yeah, this isn't cool. So more monsters have come out because I like pain. This is the Cannibal card. He looks happy. Is activated before Ravenous. So basically 2 Ravenous merge into a Cannibal with 6 health, 1 shielding, 3 escape value. Oh, all right. Okay. Okay, this is horrible. This is really horrible. So we've got Mind Eaters, Cannibals, Husk, Twisted, Ravenous, Hysteria, Blind, and Putrid. Oh no. Oh my. So let's put them there for a second. Now we get our investigators, and we've got Sam, Roman, Felicia, Arthur. He has 4 of them. So we're not playing with Randy or Jared, and we're gonna put them back to the box. And then, but what we get is we get these 2 blanks, and these 2 blanks basically say they're just turns that we won't be doing anything. So I'm going to shuffle them up. Shuffle for shenanigans. Put you here. Don't get lost in the mix. Okay, so the order will be Arthur first, then Sam, then Roman, then nobody, and then Felicia will go last. And since I'm only playing 4-player, this is where it helps. They give you these tokens. They tell you to take 2, 2, 1, and 1, right? And then they ask you to shuffle it up because, you know, you can. And what this does is it gives your investigators extra actions because you get 3 when you're playing a 6-player game. You get 3 actions, and what this does is because you're not playing with 6, you get some extra. I'm almost done with the setup, I promise you. This is just the one time we'll have to deal with this. Okay. So, Arthur will get two extra activations. Samuel will get 1. Roman will get 2, and Felicia will get 1. So so basically Arthur's gonna get 5 actions to do. Samuel will get 4, Roman will get 5, and Felicia will get 4. So it kind of helps with the game to make it feel a little bit more fair. All right. Now let's get into the game round. So first thing that happens, because it's like, okay, well, you just landed, so you can at least move and do something before. No. First thing that happens is the devour phase. And the devour phase says that we take our token to get to the end and move it to the next space, which is the symbol of the red, which is devour. And then we're going to draw 3 monster cards to find out what monsters are going to pop up. So with the devour phase, we take this deck, we shuffle it up, because these ones have already been devoured, and I'll shuffle those up too before we pull. So we shuffle these up, and then we draw 1 card to say which new deck has been devoured. All right, so we go here, and we pull. Deck number 17 gets devoured. So we look for 17, and that's these top numbers that are up here, and there's 17. So what we do is we pop this, flip it to the devoured side, which is on the other side of the card, and then put the stuff back. So it's now devoured, and when it becomes devoured, you have to place a spawn token on it. So this one has 2 sections, so I can pick which one I want to put it on. And then this one has 5 sections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, signified by the lines. And I determine where I'd want to put it on. So here, I'm going to put it here in the corner. And when you do that, you then go to the bag of bagginess and draw something awful from it, which is that, which goes in the opposite corner. So basically, when something gets devoured, the entire area goes to garbage. And you just have to determine how much goes to garbage is there. All right. Then we need to draw, and I said I'd shuffle this one up, so let me do that, because the 17 will go on top. Then it says we draw 3 monster cards to determine where it's going to go. Well, 17 is on top of that deck, so 17 is going to get the first monster. Monster cards are here. And we shuffle up. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Like I said, it sounds like it's a lot. It's just the setup. This is going to go here. So basically what the turn order pattern is going to be Arthur, Husk, Samuel, Twisted, Roman, Ravenous, Nobody, Hysteria, Nobody, Blind, Felicia, Putrid, and that's the end of the round. And then we'll shift some people around and start back over. And that's how the round goes. That's the entire round. So we shuffle these up. All right. 3 cards. First one. He's not in the game. I didn't pull him out. First one is a Putrid. 1 Putrid is going to spawn in space 17. So get back down to the mat. Go to my handy dandy minis. The minis of miniatureness. And a Putrid looks awful. It's this thing. Look at how awful that is. I will pull it closer so you can see. Look at that. So that's the Putrid mini. So 1 Putrid will spawn here because that's the spawn location. So that's 1 card. 17 then gets pulled to the bottom of this deck, and the next one's 8. So then we pull our next monster, which is, okay, so you see this here? Where it's 1 and 1, it's not 2 spawn. It's 1 spawns in one room, 1 spawns in another room. So you do spawn 2 husks, but they don't spawn together. So 1 will spawn in 8, and the husk is this thing. Nope, that is not a husk. I lied to you. I lied to you hard. This is a husk. That guy. Seems to have a glandular problem. But he spawns in 8 at their spawn location here. Put 8 to the bottom. And then the next husk spawns in 15. So 15 is here. And that's 1 card. Then the final one is a Twisted. 1 Twisted will spawn where? Number 12. A twisted will spawn at number 12. Twisted look like... Let's see, that's just the hand crazy guys. Where are you, my sweets? Nope, you are blind. Oh, there they are. There they are. Because they're just so awful. Yes, there is a lot of minis to this game. Here is the Twisted. Look at all the hands and reaching and pulling, and it's like a couple mouths that are on there. People who love mini painting, this is your guy. Like, he's like from Nightmares, good grief. So the Twisted spawns on 12. 12 is here. All right. So that is the Devour phase and the Spawn phase. Devoured, this happened, the Spawn phase, the monsters popped up, and now the activation phase, so it's my turn. So now we get to play the game, finally. And while we do, and I'll make sure that the monsters that we're not playing with will be here, will be on the side. So, what I'm gonna do is, first up is Arthur Whalen. He has 5 actions, and you can't mix and move. Moving is an action. Moving 1 space is an action. Searching is an action. Doing all that good stuff is an action. So the first thing he's going to do is, and remember, these are underwater, so it looks like I can go here. I need to get to these 2 tokens and then over here. So there's a monster here that's not cool. Arthur doesn't have any weapons and he needs something. Good gravy, he needs something. I like that player monster order. Gives you a chance to react to things and not just, here's all the bad. Yeah, I do like it too. I do like that they split it all up as well. So Arthur is going to, the area doesn't have any monsters in it. He's going to use an ability to search. So, and he's going to use his search ability, that's something useful, that says you may reveal 3 search cards, choose 1 and discard the rest. So I'm going to shuffle the search deck. No craziness going on here. It's going to be random. Throw that in the middle. Put it up. Alright. Cool. Come on, get in there. Okay, so his ability to search. Draw 3. 1, 2, 3. And then he's going to take a look at them. We've got... Ooh, I got some good stuff. We've got the Javelin Launcher. Ooh, it's probably a little blurry, sorry. Attack. You may exhaust sanity to deal additional damage. X is the number no more than 3. So this one, he's got a weapon now, so it's a range of 2. Roll 4 dice. 3 or higher gets me a success on each die, and it's 1 damage. So he's got the Javelin Launcher. He's got the Rivet Gun that he found. Attack after the target monster takes at least 1 wound, it is slowed, which means if it you know how some monsters have, like this one, move, attack, special? When it's slowed, it can't move, so it spends its move to get rid of that token. So it could give us some help there. 3 range. So that shoots really far. 5 dice I roll. 4 or higher is a success, and 1 point of damage. And the third one is the Inner Healing. During your activation, you may discard this card to heal 3 wounds from yourself, or discard this card at any time to immediately restore 3 sanity. Pretty cool choices. I'm digging the Javelin Launcher or the Rivet Gun. The Javelin Launcher is 2 steps away. The Rivet Gun is 3 within line of sight, which means I could shoot through corridors. But I need a 4 or higher success. I'm going to take the Javelin Launcher and discard these other 2. So Arthur's got 1, so that's action number 1. Now, action number 2 is he's going to be losing breath as he moves through here. He's got to get to this one. There's a door, bulkhead through here, so he can pop the bulkhead, a bunch of water down there. dive in and start moving. So he can do, he's got 5, so he's got 4 now. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. But there's a token here that gives him, that symbol is, that symbol is slowed. So he'll get slowed. So he'll lose an action next turn. And there's the potential for a monster to spawn. But at least they won't spawn and hit him. And that's what he's going to do. So I'm trying to get through this as much as possible. Then I could come down here, over here, down here, get this one, and then get to the edge. So he's going to go 1, because he's swimming. That goes down from 6 to 5. 2, 4, 3, 3, 4. Boosts back up to 6 because he swam out the other side. And he's been slowed. So he has slow on him. Here it is. So he has slow on him, the slow token. So he actually has to spend an action to do that. And that's his 5. He's done 5 things. He searched, and then he moved 4. That ends his turn. It's the husk's turn. All husks activate. So the husk had move, attack, attack. Special on one thing in this husk space. And activate it once immediately. Okay, so it's going to move 1 to the nearest investigator. So it'll move here. This one will move here. Then it'll attack. There's no way for it to attack. There's nothing for it to hit. But then it's going to use a special ability. And a special ability says it summons 1 Mind Eater. Mind Eater, you ask. What is a Mind Eater? A Mind Eater is this lovely Zergling looking thing here. So it spawns 1 in its space. So it just kind of like jumps off its body. And then they activate immediately. They activate with a move, attack. Mind Eater is always activated the first during the activation phase. So it moves, move, because there's no other way to get to this place. Move. So they're going to be spawning these things every single activation. This is going to be hard. That ends their turn. They can't do anything else. Then it goes to Samuel's turn. He has 4 movement. Samuel already has a weapon, so he's just going to 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he'll get his oxygen back because he popped out of the hat. Oh, that was Felicia's. That's Samuel's. So he's back to being good, and he is slowed because he hit the slowed room. So Samuel has the slowed effect on him because of the room's Devour effect. Then it goes to the Twisted. This thing, it's going to move 1. And then it said Twisted gains something. What is that symbol? Twisted gains something. The symbols are very small to read, and for my horrible sight, I sometimes don't see what it means. Oh, that's the story of the game. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Let's not slow down gameplay. I'll figure it out. Okay. So that ends its turn. It can't do anything. Then it is Dr. Romanoff. Dr. Romanoff has 5, so he's going to do the same thing that that he did, because we're going to move together. You don't split the party. D&D rule. He draws the utility knife. Attack. Each target monster's resistance is reduced by 1 during this attack. He rolls 2 dice, 4 or higher for 1 damage. So he's got it's kind of thematic. He's got a utility knife on him. So that's 1, and then he's got 4 more movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he is slowed. And that's his 4. Then we go to the Ravenous. Okay, so There are no Ravenous on the board, no Ravenous spawn, so nothing to do. No, then to no one. Then to the Hysteria. There's no Hysteria on the board, nothing happens. Then to no one. Then to the Blind. There's no Blind on the board because nothing happens. Then to Felicia. So you see how it moves? So these monsters activate, and when they come on the board, you see stuff happen with them. But luckily, there was no Hysteria, no Ravenous, and no Blind. There was just the Twisted, the Husks, and the Putrid. So Felicia goes first. She has 4 spaces to move. You know where she's going, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and she will gain a slowed as well. Nobody's hurting. Everybody's cool. Hey. So, so that ends her turn for the 4. It's the Putrid's turn, which is this guy. He's going to move 1 after Putrid takes wound. So yeah, and that's all he can do. Nothing else. Everything's looking pretty good. So now we have finished the activation phase. We're on the refresh phase. That means that if there are any abilities that you were like, okay, we'll twist this card to exhaust it to do something, we refresh everything back. We check everything else out. And then we rinse and repeat. And so we're going to, now we're back up to this, the round ends, this moves here to a new devour phase. Let's see what gets devoured. Space 28. 28. This one gets devoured. We grab a token and say where that spawn token will be. It will be, if something spawns here, I can kill it, so it'll be here. So now is where you start talking about some type of strategy, right? If something spawns there, I could do something with it, or, you know, try to stop them, or something like that. So then we grab, and it is a madness token. Sure, why not? Because that hurts. So the madness token spawns on there, and then what we do from there, remember, we move from, that is the devour phase, then we go to the spawn phase. So what are we spawning? We're spawning a Ravenous, so now they're going to get activation. And the Ravenous are the Cthulhu-looking creatures. They're going to go, one's going to go here because it was just devoured, right? That goes on top. Here. It's like, no, I'm not blind. So that goes there, and then we pull one under here, and one spawns at 12. 2 spawn, sorry, it was 2 and 1. It was 2 and 1. So 2 Ravenous spawn here, and 1 Ravenous spawns on 12 here. So you see how this starts getting horribly, horribly worse? So then it's 3 cards we draw. So number 1, space number 1, where we are, is going to have 2 blind. I'm going to die. Blind here. 2 blind right there. So that's 2 on space 1. And then on space 2, for 3, is going to be, oh my goodness, a Hysteria, which is, what are they called? They're not called Hydralisk, Mutalisk from StarCraft. So it's one flying horrid creature. Let me zoom in a little better. You want to see what it looks like? yeah, it's getting steadily worse. It'll be okay. We'll be all right. We'll be okay. So he spawns on 2. I don't like these creatures. I want them to die. So he'll spawn here. 2 of them will spawn there. So you see how hard this game can get, right? I mean, monsters are already popping up. And 1 more spawns on 20. So where's 20? 20. Here. So you see how bad things can get. And what we do, we pop these tokens off. Right? We grab Felicia, move everyone down 1, and this time Felicia gets to go first. In this round, we reshuffle these. It's basically you grab the last person at the end, pull them forward in the turn order, and then push everybody back 1. And that's how we do it. It's only 4 things, so I can shake them up this way. Shake them up, shake them. Shake them. All right, first up, Felicia's gonna get 1, 2, oh no, 1, 1, and 2 and 2. So Felicia gets 4, Arthur gets 4, Sam gets 5, and Roman gets 5. So this starts back over at the top with Felicia, so it's our turn. Felicia, you have a close range melee attack. And we need to get that clue. Oh. Alright, we're gonna have to kill those guys and somebody's gonna have to grab that clue. So Felicia's gonna move into that space because, yeah, why not? And then she is going to, because it's close range, so with ranged attacks, you attack a single target. With melee attacks, you attack multiple targets. Felicia is going to roll, and here's my dice. So, as I said, I backed the Kickstarter. I went a little crazy on the dice buy. I bought like 3 sets of dice because, you know, FOMO is real. And these ones I'm going to roll for defense against monsters, and these ones I'm going to roll for attacks, okay? So her thing says that she rolls 3 dice. Nope, she rolls 1 die. No, yep, she rolls 1 die, and a 3 or higher, the thing will suffer 2 damage. I got a 5, which is a success. So she hits this guy for 2. Blinds have... Awesome. Blinds have 2 shielding. So they block it. I didn't think this one through. So they block it completely. She cannot hurt them at all. Oh, and just to make sure I don't cheat, she had to spend 1 action to get rid of the slowed so she can move. So she spent 1 action, that one's gone, and then she has 3 left. She spent 1 to attack because I wasn't smart, and the creature blocked all my attacks, and she's like, ah! So, what else can she do? She's going to try to grab that thing. She's going to try to grab the... Let's see. Close the door. This seems bad. Yeah, oh man, just got here. What did I miss? Oh, Elizabeth, I made a bad decision. That's what you missed. I made a horrible decision. Let's see. Someone close the door. Yes, she should have done that. You are right. I should have shut that. So these are hatches, and what we can do is shut hatches. And monsters will bang against them, and I have to roll a die to see if they break the door to get through or if the door stops them. She should have done that. Now, the blinds have 0 to their escape value. She has 5. She can actually do that. So she's going to be smart, and she's going to move back over here. So that's 3. She's going to use an action to shut that door and lock it. And because FOMO, I got the door printed mini, and boom. She shut that door. 4. No, so remove slowed, move to space, attack monster, miss horribly, attack monster, move back. So she can't shut the door. Moving back is it. That was 4. Get rid of slowed, move to space, attack and find out what a horrible mistake I've made, which is probably a little thematic, and then move back. So that's her 4. Her turn's up. Husk turns. Husks are going to move 1. Spawn these gross little things. I'm probably going to die. Then those gross little things are going to move 2. Oh, my voice is cracking because I'm scared. 1, 2. And that is the husk activation. Arthur, please, please, sir. So Arthur's going to, he'll save his last action to shut the door if it happens. But he's got a range, he's got the rivet gun. He's going to roll 5 dice. He rolls 5 dice. Range of 3, 4 more success. So with 5 dice, I need to hit them at least once. I need to roll 3 successes. you move out of Elizabeth, if you move out of a space with a monster, the only way that you're able to is if you can escape their escape value. You see these numbers here at the bottom, which is, oh, you don't see them because my camera is garbage. So you see this number here at the bottom that says 1? That means that if my escape value is less than how many are in there, so both of the blinds escape value is 0. If they were both like the putrid here, which is 2, and there were 3 of them there, I would need a 6 or higher to escape, or else I couldn't. So it's kind of her just kind of ducking and running. That's the duck out and stick and move part of it. So there's no consequence for doing it, but I'm okay with that with what I've already spawned on this board. All right, Arthur, turn 1. 1, 2, I need a 4 or more. 3. Huh. And it takes 1 move, it's slowed. And they only have 1 move ability. Oh yeah. So this guy, and just to let y'all know, it's like, okay, well, how do you keep track of all this stuff? They come with, and I didn't pull these out, and I will, these lovely little stands that you can put them in. And then you could take the token of slowed and say, put it on the back, so that's the one that's slowed, and that's kind of what they do with it. So he's been slowed. And he suffered 1 damage. I'm using my lovely mini dice because the other damages, you don't see the pips on them. So he suffered 1 damage, and I'll put it on the blind for that one. Or he has 2 health anyway. So he suffered 1 damage. So Arthur hit him for 1, got through his shielding. And then that's his first attack. Then he's going to attack again, because 1 more hit and that thing dies. For Mad Scientist Guy, Elizabeth, our characters are the captain, the medic, the engineer, and the biochemist. Mad Scientist. Oh, look at this horrible train wreck. I've only rolled 1 success on turn 2. I've got 2 more turns left. So 1 success on turn 2. That doesn't do anything. Turn 3. 2 successes. I'm going to exhaust a sanity on Arthur. Actually, no. Arthur, oh, he's not moving. He's not moving. He doesn't need to get rid of it. He's slowed, which means he can't move, so that's fine. So I'm going to exhaust 1 sanity to re-roll 1 die. Come on. Oh! I could do it again. I don't want to, but I could do it again. So that's turn 3. Arthur has failed me. So turn 4, Arthur is going to shut the door. Oh boy. Alright. Now it is the Twisted's turn. It's going to move 1. This is not going well. Sam, my man, save me. So Sam rolls 5 dice, 2 away. We've got to kill these creatures. I've got 6 die, not 5. I can count. So, hey, Mr. Sam, how you doing? Sam, you're just in time, as Sam needs to save our lives. He rolls 1 success because for his, a 5 or greater does it. No can do. So that's turn number 1. He's not moving, so he's not getting rid of the slowed. 2 success. He's going to exhaust the sanity to reroll 1 die. Ah! Okay. Yeah, the dice roll is punishing, so that's 2 turns. He's got 3 more to go. Oh my word. 1 success. Because I need, for Sam, his SMG, you may exhaust 1 sanity to roll 2 additional die. I'm gonna do that. Oh man. I'm gonna do it. I gotta do it. So it's 2 successes, 2 sixes, and then his final one, he's gonna do one more time. Come on, come on. Oh my gosh, no, a 1. So his that was that action. He used up all his sanity, so with 3 he can't use anymore 2. He's back down to 5. That was his second action. His third action. No, that was his third action. This was his fourth. I can't exhaust any more sanity, so that's his fourth action. Oh my word, we're going to die. I probably might be losing the story here. Only 2 successes because for his I need a 5 or higher. So his entire turn's wasted on nothing but misses and bad dice rolls. Yeah. All right. The Ravenous turn, which is them. They're going to try to break down the door to get to us, to move. So when it comes down to door breaking, because I have a lot of stuff going on here, breaking down doors, and let me read this to you properly. Dice roll, hurt, bad, scared, send help, hashtag Canje. I think I roll 1 die or 2. Taking actions in flooded spaces, checking drowning effects. Rest action, lock doors. Here we go. When a hatch is to unlock a hatch, you just remove the hatch standee from the board. Remember, investigator doesn't need to unlock the hatch first to move through it. She can move directly through the locked hatch, and the hatch will remain unlocked thereafter. When a hatch's lock is destroyed, because they can break it, monsters moving through locked hatches. When a monster is about to move through a locked hatch, the nearest investigator behind the hatch may roll exactly 2 6-sided die. I'm going for reds. If the number of success results equals or exceeds the monster's horror, so his horror is 1, and they're going to hit this door twice. So if I can roll 1 success twice, the doors will stop them. Otherwise, they will break the door down. So they try to move, they hit the door, it doesn't work, so they attack. They attack. No, wait, no, this is, the Ravenous, yes. The Ravenous aren't here. Yes, they are. That's them. And it's about to transform, too. So, come on, first one. They break the door down. Because the success is a 5 or 6. So, first one breaks the door down. This is not looking good for me. Bloom, the door can no longer be locked because it's actually broken, which is these little icons here that I've now placed to indicate that it is busted. So it moved, it attacked. It moved, hit the door, it attacked the door, broke the door. Then this other Ravenous is going to activate. It's going to move. And then it's going to attack. Oof. So it's going to attack, place the cannibal. So it's going to move as soon as. Oh no, this thing had a move, attack. So it's move, hit the door, then attack, break the door. This one's then move, attack. So it moves 1, and then attacks. I have to roll defensive dice. So let's talk about defending against an attack, because I could block it or just get beat up horribly. So, monster attacks. A monster will always attack the nearest investigator within its range. If there are multiple investigators, we choose who's going to get hit. Remember, range is the distance at which a monster can attack. A monster deals an amount of damage equal to its slash when it attacks. The investigator must then determine his resistance value by rolling 2 6-sided dice. That damage is reduced by the number of successes on that die. So, it is going to, because Preacher's like that guy who's like, no, you're not going to hit my friend, he's going to step in the way so it doesn't hit Felicia. He has to roll 2 dice or take 1 damage. So, come on, success. Scientist keeps thwarting their quest. He does, right? Yes, one success. So the 6, I roll the 6. So he comes in and he blocks it with his SMG and pushes the monster off. Take that, jerk. Alright, so then it goes to Roman's turn. Roman. Each monster's resistance is reduced by 1 during this attack. So he's going to do that. During your activation, you may exhaust 1 sanity to mark a non-monster. This monster's resistance is reduced by 1 for each marker it has. Why didn't you go first? You were last and your ability would be fantastic. But he is going to try to stab the monster. His armor is reduced by 1. So he's got 5 actions. First action. Come on, buddy. 4 or higher. 4 or higher. Yeah! 2 successes, a 6 and a 5. That's 2 damage to that ravenous monster. It has 2 health. It dies. Hallelujah. So, when you kill a monster, and let me make sure I read this properly, because when you kill a monster, he didn't exhaust. The monster's horror is 1. He hasn't exhausted any sanity to basically do that. And we'll do it to the attack action. Calculate damage, distribute damage and determine wounds, and then fight after a monster is killed during an attack action. Flip a number of investigator sanity tokens equal to the monster's horror over their madness side. Once the investigator has accumulated 3, he'll draw a madness card. He or she must discard exactly the same number of madness. For each point of horror for which there is no sanity token to flip, the investigator resolves a consciousness card. So we get our first consciousness card. He stabs. Basically, which I'll shuffle this, he stabs the monster and kills it, and then he finds like a note or something tied to its foot, maybe? So let's see what happens. Oh my gosh, the scientist is coming. Atharu. Alright. And that was his first action. Oh, and I can't shut that door again. So, alright. First consciousness card, because we shuffled, says Outbreak. And I'll hold it here for a second because it's tiny. I need to put on my glasses for people who watch the stream later and want to pause it to read what it says. And let me read it now to you all. Outbreak number 6. We had to get rid of the sphere, and we need to do it soon. I don't care how hard it was to dig up. It's killing people. I've talked with Miss Blake. I've talked with Commander Wade. I've even tried going above them to the surface brass. No one will listen. They're all enamored with it, like it's some great messianic bauble. They don't see what it's doing, or they just don't care. We've got to do something before it kills us all. And that's from Ronald Myers, Chief Mining Operator of Kadath Facility. You heal 1 madness. I don't have any on me, so that is discarded. So you see the consciousness deck starts telling us a story of what happened here, because remember, they lost communication. We need to get down here. There's something about a sphere, and we need to get down here and find out what's going on. So he killed that guy, got the consciousness card because he didn't use any horror. He's got 4 more actions to do. He's going to... Ooh, he could die. She can heal him. He's going to spend 1 action to get rid of the slowed that's on him. He's going to... Because he had 5, so now he's down to 3. If he goes in a space with the blind... Oh, man. I don't want him to miss, though. He can reduce... He can do enough to kill 1, but not much. Oh, and when they ended all their turns on this space, they all got slowed again. So Arthur slowed, Felicia slowed. He spends it to not be slowed. This is madness. That something bad happens, I'll read about it. Something bad happens, I'll read about it. So he has 2 more spaces to move. Oh my gosh, what will he do? Yeah, this thing can go straight up now. What can he do? The dice are never my friend, Elizabeth. Never. Have you seen my role player playthrough? Never my friend. I don't know what to do with him. I could spend an action to search and hope he gets another ability for range. So I'll do that. I'm gonna spend. He's got 3 actions left. I'm gonna spend 1 to search. Another close range weapon, which is a crowbar. So he can only have 1 item with him. So it's either I ditch the scalpel, enter each monster resistance is reduced by 1. This raises my escape value with a crowbar. I roll 3 dice instead of 2 on a 4 or higher. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to replace his utility knife with a crowbar. You can only search once per activation. So don't say like, okay, search, search, search. No, it's once per activation. So he's got 2 turns left. Yeah, Mr. Sam, I will take the bad rolls so the universe will balance it out. I really don't want to move him. We really need to get this token and get out of here. This is not good. Oh boy. I don't know what to do with his last 2 actions. Like Sam and Arthur would have been the perfect people for to get those 2, and Sam's were just completely wasted on trash dice rolls. I have to jump off and play some games with my daughter. All right, Elizabeth, thank you for joining me. Have fun playing the game. Let's see. I will go. I actually am just going to let him because I don't want to move him. They will attack him. And I'm not looking forward to that. Actually, I could move him. I will move him. I'll move him 1, 2, and they're equidistant, so I get to determine who the monsters attack. When they move out, I want him to move in and grab that token, so that he doesn't have to roll for that. Goes to the Hysteria's turn. It's going to special. If the Hysteria it hasn't possessed anybody, then it's going to move twice. One, two, 1, no, 1, 2. The ravenous abilities, if there's 2 of them in the same space, it would turn into a cannibal. All right. That's the end of the Hysteria. Nobody's going. It's the Blind's turn. This one spends its move because it's slowed to get rid of slowed, so it doesn't move. But it can attack, but it has its special, and special says choose an investigator in this blind's line of sight to be weakened. All the investigators in line of sight are all instead of choosing, if it's in a devoured space, which it is, all investigators become weakened. Awesome. And awesome means terrible. Weakened means so slowed means I can't move without performing an action to get rid of that. Weakened means I can't attack without without using an action to get rid of it. So they're slowed. No, line of sight, weakened. So they're all weakened and slowed. This is going swimmingly. So that ends his turn. His turn, he can move. He's going to move here. And you can only get weakened or slowed once. You can't stack it up because then it'll be too unfair. So he moves into this area, and he's going to attack. So he's going to attack for 2 damage. And he's going to attack. I'll put it on Sam because Sam's that guy. Preacher's that guy who doesn't want to get anybody hurt. So I need to roll 2 successes to block this. I took 2 damage. So let me get my help dice out. And Sam takes 2 damage of the 10. So he's down to 8 health. All right. Ugh. That ends their turn. Nobody else goes. The Putrid goes. The Putrid is this guy, and he's going to move 1. I'll put him here. Line of sight's a real thing. And that ends his... Yep, that ends his turn. It goes back up to the top. The blank moves up, everyone slides down in the turn order. The blank is going to go first. Now the monsters themselves, they don't shift, just the players. And then we grab these ones here. I promised her equal time, Sorcerer City, Wingspan, and wow, that sounds like a lot of fun, Elizabeth. She likes kicking my butt. I hope you enjoy it. That sounds like a whole lot of fun. I really hope you enjoy it. So we shuffle this up, and I'm just gonna put them in my hands. Roll it around. Put it in. Roll. Okay. So I shuffle this up. Refresh phase. Grab one. I'm just blindly grabbing. Grab and grab. Okay. So Felicia gets 2. Arthur gets 1. Sam gets 1. Roman gets 2. All right. So that's the refresh phase. Then we go to the devour phase. We move here. We get to a new symbol that is a skull face thing. Let's see what happens to our... I just spilled everything on the floor. Let's see what happens to our lovely investigators when that crops up. So when that happens, each investigator exhausts 1 oxygen, then the maximum oxygen level is reduced to 5. So they go to 5 oxygen because it's getting harder and harder to breathe. And they are surrounded and outgunned. And maximum oxygen is down to 5. So you see how this game works very hard to beat you up. I just spilled everything on the floor too. We'll work it out. All right, so let's see. So that was that phase. I draw 2 monster cards. Room 20 was where? Oh, I didn't move this one down when room 20 spawned. Okay. Then the next place to get devoured, room number 10. This one right here. It's almost like thematically happening against me. All right, so room number 10. We grab the box with all the stuff in it. Oh, yep, it did. That was the one that fell. So we grab a token here. I'm going to put the spawn there because something's going to spawn from it. And then we go to the bag to shake up what's going to happen. We're going to exhaust the sanity if we stop in that room. Then we draw 2 monster cards. First one is a Twisted. A Twisted's going to go... One Twisted is going to go in that room. Not cool! So Twisteds are Hands of Doom. Spawns there. This goes to the bottom. And then on 17... the second monster that's going to pop up is, well, I don't have any agonies in this one, sorry. Oh boy, 3 hysterias in 3 different rooms. So, hysteria number 1 is going to go on 17. 17 here. Hysteria number 2 is going to go in 8. Oh, and by the way, when you run out of minis, you lose the scenario. Just, you know, for funsies. Where's 8? 8 is here. That's not good. I shouldn't have put that there. Hysteria number 3 is going to go in 15. Here. And those are the 2 monsters to draw for that. So, yeah. It's going to go in 15. 15 goes to the bottom of the pile. So that ends that. That ends the spawn phase. Now to the new... now to the new phase, which is the activation phase. Nobody's going for the first one, so the husk will go first. The husk will move 1, drop, poop a dude. And then the other husk will move 1 and poop a dude. I mean, you know, it's perfectly fine. Nothing to worry about. Then they move, they'll move 2. It says man eater is always activated first during the activation phase. So now all of them are going to move. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. Everything's fine. Everything is perfectly fine. We're going to live. We will live. So that ends their turn. Felicia's turn. This monster's in her space, and she's got a scalpel, but she only rolls 1 die. So she can't move or attack because she needs to exhaust 1 turn to get rid of the weakened. Oh boy. And then once per activation, you may perform a free move action. So I get a free move action. The blind's escape is 0. So I can, yeah. So I get my free move. So I had 5. I spent 1 to get rid of the weaken. Sorry, it shouldn't have been weakened. I need to do it. I'm gonna do this properly. 1 with the slowed. So the slowed is gone. I get my free move, so I move 1. I then do another one to move again. Oh boy. I tell you what, no, it's not gonna work. It won't matter. 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 So, boy. I could see she could try to sneak in there and steal that. Like, try to just kind of go around the side, run in and grab. And let's see if investigate is, once I get in the space, I gain the investigate action. Let's see if investigate allows me to... Yep, it does. I can. So she'll go, her free move action is going to move here. And then she's going to try to grab that thing. So she's going to roll 2 dice, and hopefully, that's what the investigate says, right? She's going to try to steal that token, get that activation while the boys are busy. So in the same space with a clue token, investigate, acquire the clue to blah, 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 blah. Acquire the clue token if there is a success token on it. Okay, so she's going to try to roll a success to grab it. So this is, she had 1 to get rid of slowed, free move action. Success, she gets the token. We need to go. We need to go now. So then she will, so that was that to do it. She has to burn this to actually do it too, so let me not cheat that. So she's got 2 actions left. So she got the clue token. This thing has 1 health left. 1 health on it. Alright. So she's got 2 left. Its escape is 0. She's got 5 to run. So she is going to move here. And then she's going to stop there. So we've got the clue token. Time to go. So that will end. So that, and she has 1 left. 1 turn left. She needs to, if they get there, those monsters might hit. She is going to shut this door. She's shutting the door because this thing's coming up next, and I need the powerhouse hitters to hit him. Or she could search for a weapon. Ooh, or she can search for a weapon. I think Canje has 90% of them on the board. It's gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. I'll live. So she has 1 action left. I said I was gonna shut the door, but I'm changing my mind. I'm thinking I'm gonna have her search. Oh, beautiful. She gets a gun. Jenny's got a gun. So she's gonna switch out her scalpel for that gun. And she will await them coming up next. But she's got the clue. So she's good. That ends her turn. Twisted go. This thing goes here. This thing goes here. So there we go. Now it says if it's on, it gains. It looks like a time symbol, but it's not. I don't know what the symbol means, and let me show you what it is. For people who are on here who've played this game 10 billion times, if you could tell me what this means, that'd be great, because it's not in the book. That. It says when the twisted gains something that looks like time, but I don't know what that means, and it's not in the book. So correct me, people of the internet world, because it's not in the book. I don't know what it means, and there is no appendix. So awesome. But we're gonna move on and say that that just doesn't happen. How about that? Then we go up to Arthur. All right, Arthur, you are going to kill this thing, but you have to spend your free activation, so you only got 3 turns now to kill this thing to get rid of weakened. You are going to roll 5 dice, and a 4 or higher hits. You just gotta hit it, man. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. The blind has 2 shield, and then 2 health gets through. I kill it. Yay! It has 1 horror. I have a sanity on there that's going to flip to a horror because of it. So it dies. So he spent 1 action to get rid. He has 4 actions. He spent 1 of them to get rid of the weakened. He spent 1 to attack. He's going to spend 1 because it's time. He's got range. He's got range. So those hysterias are going to hurt. So he's going to spend his next action to shoot the hysteria. This could be a worst decision of my life. And I could see it because it's through the broken door. So he's going to attack that. On his attack, a 4 or higher wins. 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. It has 1 shield, 2 health. Kills it. Pop. Pop like a zip. It dies. Alright, now getting the consciousness cards means what? Oh, because it has a horror of 1, he doesn't have another one to exhaust, he gets a consciousness card. Thank God. And let me put this up here for people who are going to watch this later, and then I'll read it to everybody. Okay, so let's read it. Williams experiment number 5. Sphere test, day 23. Perhaps we should have stopped while we were ahead. Of course, that hardly matters now, and with all we have gleaned, I can't say I wouldn't do it all again. The manifestations overtook the station. The creatures grew stronger as the sphere ingested more terror, and those beings closest to the sphere finally broke into the facility to join the weaker conjurations that had already manifested. Within Kadash proper, this means testing moves to a new phase, from controlled environments to the wild. Dr. William West, you may immediately perform a free action. Thank you. So I've got 2 again now, right? Because it was remove weakened, attack, I gain attack, which I did, and then I gain free action back, so I actually have 3. Oh boy. And then I would have to exhaust 1 to move 2, which I still need to be able to attack and clear. We need to get here. So we got to start clearing space to get there. So he's got line of sight. He can hit the blind, the putrid, or this guy. The blind is probably the best. The putrid has 6 health and it is coming. Oh boy. I've got 3 actions left. I will check you all later, Canje, and let you know. Alright, Hans. Alright. Yeah, let me know. Definitely keep me honest. I got 3 actions to take. What I do. It's a target-rich environment, but not in a good way. I can go... I would just be able to move with 3 actions. And that isn't helpful. I should be able to move with 1. And then I'll do it. So I'll attack. But what do I attack? Do I get rid of this blind? Or I can move here and attack this guy who has 5 health and 2 shield. Oh no. Oh boy. The goal is to get down here. The Hysterias have 2 movement. So the Hysterias can be a problem next. He needs to step back 1 for sure. So his last... So he's got 1 more action, and then I need to step away 1. Boy. I think I'm going to... I don't need this blind being a problem, so I'm going to attack the blind with my last attack. 3 successes, please. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. It dies. Oh my gosh. So it dies. That one dies. Because I have nothing to flip, I get another one of these cards. So let me hold it up. All right, time to read it. Williams Experiments number 1, Sphere Test Day 2. Dr. William West reporting. We witnessed a fascinating incident today upon first human contact with the sphere. Specifically, the sphere ate the arm of the test subject. What was most interesting, though, that wasn't interesting enough, was how it reacted once the subject panicked at the loss of his limb. At this point, the sphere seemed to come alive. Tentacles lashed out and snared the subject, pulling him completely inside. Of note, I don't think it was responding to hunger. I feel it was responding to his fear. Dr. William West. You may immediately perform a free action. Oh my word. Ooh, got my glasses. No, don't break. Alright. I get to attack again. Okay. 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 I'm going to attack. So I'm going to attack the. I'm going to attack that guy. The Ravenous. The Ravenous. He's the only one left on the board. No, he's not. I need a 4 for success. I got 2 successes. He has 2 health, no shield. He dies. Yes. Yes. Pull another card. Oh my word. Golden Dawn. So there you go. All right, time to read. So we're finding out what's happening in the facility. Golden Dawn number 1. 14 and so I, Kezia, saw the glorious truth of consciousness. They revealed that the world of material things was only a thin shell, cradling within it the truth of mind. 15 further, they showed me it was possible to crack the shell of material being and release the conscious majesty flowing beneath its surface. 16, I glimpsed a new age dawning, an age not of mere existence, but of transcendence, where man became spirit and spirit became man. The revelation of Kezia, Book of the Golden Dawn. Keep this card, discard this card at any time to roll 1 additional die. Alright, so. Cool! Now he's going to spend action number 2 to get rid of that, and then his final action to move right here. And that will end his turn. Next up is the Ravenous. There is 1 Ravenous. That's it, 1 Ravenous. So the Ravenous, he's going to move 2, 1, 2, and he's got nothing else to do. Yep, he's got nothing else to do. That ends his turn. Preacher, preach! Preach, preach. We're going to spend, he's got 4 actions. He's going to spend 1 action to get rid of Weakened. So he only has 1 action left because he needs 1 to get rid of Slowed and then 1 to move. So he's got 1 action left. And what he's going to do, because his SMG fires 2 space, 1, 2, he's going to fire at that Putrid. So, and it rolls 5, and this is 5 or greater. One Putrid has 1 shield, he blocks it. So he's going to spend his next action to get rid of that, and then his next one to move here. And that will end his turn. The Hysteria goes. They move, they do their special. which they can't, nothing's there to do it. So there's 2 here, there's 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. And then they're going to move 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, he moved there. Cool. That's all the hysteria. There's nothing for them to attack. There's no range for them to attack in. So then it goes to Roman. Oh, Roman. I can lower that monster's resistance and attack him. Oh, he's got to get rid of weaken if he's going to attack. Oh boy. Let's see. He can move in to attack that creature. So he's not slowed, but he's weakened. He has 5 attack. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I just need to save 1 action to move back. That's all I need to do. So he's going to use 1 action of his 5. So, and let me keep track of that better, right? Because I don't want to be counting on my hands and then everything's crazy. So we'll grab another one of the dice that I kind of went a little bit crazy on. I don't know if y'all can see it. Can you see it, the number? Okay, so he has 5 actions. So we can do this proper. He is going to spend 1, going down to 4, to get rid of the weaken token. He's going to... Oh, Roman. Twisted, okay. He's going to spend 1, going down to 3, to move. Where's Roman? Oh, I had these 2 backwards. I had their minis backwards. To move here. He's going to attack this creature with the crowbar because YOLO. So he's going to roll 3 dice. And on a 4 or higher, and I am dropping dice because I am terrified right now. And a 4 or higher, he is going to hit this monster. And because of his ability of Alter States, the monster's defense is reduced. He can also do Splicing Reality. During your activation, you may exhaust 1 sanity to mark a non-epic monster. That monster's resistance is reduced by 1 for each marker. So, Altered States 1, Splicing Reality 2. And those weren't action. Oh, it says during your... Yep. So, 1 is Altered States happens now, so the monster doesn't have any defense. So, 4 or higher. I rolled 1, so it takes 1 damage. You take 1 damage. And its escape value is 2. His crowbar gives him a +1/+4. He's more than enough for his last let's see. 1 get rid of weakened, 2 move, 3 attack. 1 get rid of weakened, 2 move, 3 attack. Yep, so I got 2 left. So he's gonna hit it again and then run away. The reason why I'm not going to the back corner also is because that token back there says that I'm going to get a madness. I don't want a madness. It's going to hurt. 3 successes. And because of Altered States and the attack ability, he doesn't have a shield. So he takes 4 damage. He has 5 health. He takes 4 damage total. So he has 1 more thing and then he dies. And I don't know what that +1 is. I honestly don't. But if you find out, let me know. It's a weird symbol. It's not in the book. And then his final thing is he's going to move back 1 because he has the escape value to do so. All right. So that ends his. It's the blind's turn. Are there any blind? There are no blind on the board because I killed them all. Okay. Then it is nobody's turn. Then it's the putrid's turn. And the putrid moves 1. There's only one putrid? Sweet. That was it. End of round. They push back. They're going to be going a lot later in the round right now because there's 2 blanks that are coming up. And then we'll see if we can get Arthur. Oh boy, this is going to hurt. Shake these up. These are the extra activations that I'm shaking up for refresh. I'm like burning time. I need to get to that. I need to run and get to that other item. But we're kind of getting boxed, and I gotta make a hole, and then everybody's got to move. So 2 goes to Felicia. 2 goes to Arthur, and then 1 and 1 for the other, so I know what those are. Alright, this goes back up to the top. This is going to move. For the Devour phase, a new Devour happens. Room number 22 gets devoured, which is this one. So this is where it gets weird. So you take these guys off. Flip it. Put these back on. Put them back. He was there. I think he was there. Or was he here? Yeah, he was there. Okay. So... Ooh. Alright. So that gets devoured. Pull a new spawn marker. That spawn marker is going to be over here. Why not? And then draw from the bag. Not long for this world. And draw out a minus die. Okay, so that's the Devourer, and that's the Devourer's phase, and now the Spawn phase. 3 Hysteria are gonna go right where that happened. 1. These are the last. These are the last Hysteria in the box. If they summon again, I lose. And that goes to 22. Going to 28. A blind on 28. 28. 28. Your number. I think it's around here somewhere. 22. 28. Blind. And then a blind on 12. 12, 12, 12. Where is 12? Here we go. Then, so there's 3 monsters spawning. So I spawned a Hysteria, a blind, and 3, and that was on 12, and 3 Ravenous on 1. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be all right. I need to. I see this mission is hard, and it's hard because you need to stick and move. You can't hang around. You can't be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna shoot everything down and move, which was my first mistake. I should have been just move in, grab, run, move in, grab, run, 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 run. Because I'm overwhelmed right now. So let's go. No one's going first. Husks then go. So Husk move here. Draw. Oh, actually, before the Husks go, the Mind Eater always goes first. So the Mind Eaters are going to go 2. 1, 2. So they move, attack. So they're going to attack either Felicia or Roman. Roman's going to push Felicia in the way because he's a jerk. So Felicia needs to roll 2. No successes, so she's going to take 1 damage. Okay. And that is that one. These are going to move 2 here, here, here. These are going to move 2 here. And those are the only ones that are there. Then the husk is going to go. The husk is going to move one. Drop another one of these things. Which, let's see. Mind Eater in its husk space. And, okay. And because it's in a space that's not devoured, it doesn't activate. It just spawns. This one will move. And it is in a space that's devoured. So it's going to move 1, 2. Good grief. Then nobody goes, then the twisted goes. The twisted is going to move in here, and the other twisted's going to move 1. That twisted is in a space to do some damage, but it has 4 hit on it. So it is going to attack, and when it attacks this die here, I get to roll this fun thing, and if I roll a specific symbol, it's going to hurt. Yeah, oh yeah, Kate. I'm booking it as soon as I can. I think that was what I was supposed to do, and that's probably why this scenario. Remember, this is my first playthrough, right? So but I understand it now. That's why a lot of people say this scenario is hard, is because I think a lot of people stick around and do exactly what I did, make this mistake, where all I'm doing is just standing around shooting stuff, trying to clear it so that I can grab the token and go. This is run mode. I need to get the heck out of here. So I'm going to be spending some stuff to run. So the twisted, if I roll an I, bad things happen. And I rolled an I because, you know, me. So roll 1 at the end of each attack. Oh, at the end of each attack. So let's say it happens. So it's going to attack Felicia because she's in front. Felicia takes 1 damage because I rolled 1 success, so she takes 2. And then I roll the dice, I got an I. The target investigator resolves a madness card. Otherwise, it takes 1 madness. Nope. So, yeah. So instead of taking a madness, I automatically get a bad ability. I'm shuffling them up now, so. Goodness. Yeah, I see my mistake. And that's okay. That's all right. We learn, we grow. We live, we learn, we get loves. Is that what it is? Live, learn, get loves? So. I'm going to run like you would not believe. If none of them are slowed, they are going to book it. She was in a space with a specific symbol. The 1. If you end your activation, spawn a monster with a horror of at least 1 in this space. Oh no! So I messed something up, and I'm just gonna let it slide now, but I'll fix it. So what happens is this horror that's here, it says the number 1 on it, and what that means, it says if you end your activation in this space, spawn a monster with a horror value of at least spawn a monster with a horror of at least 1 in your space. So I would pull this card, and whatever monster came up, if it had a horror of 1, then it would just be in my space and just kind of crawl through the wall on me. So I missed that because Roman and Felicia should have done it, but I'm sorry. I will do it next time. Madness card. Abandonment. Oh, look at that lovely ability at the bottom. So it's not a +1, it's a -1. It's just a 1, and that's what it says in the book. There's no +1. There's a thing that gives them range, but that wasn't it. So, abandonment. You can't move your legs. Looking down, you see dank, slippery hands pressing up through the floor, their fingers curling around your ankles as they touch you. Their fingertips seem to adhere to your skin. This is thematic and gross. Then the people under the floor begin to whisper. You realize one is your mother. One is your sister, one is your lover, all the people you've abandoned. They want you back. They're tired of you running and they intend to reclaim you. Bending over, you try to pry yourself free, but they will not be swayed. You're theirs, and they won't let you go again. You're slowed. So Felicia is slowed. See, I think yeah. Okay. Oh, you think the +1 gives it, I think the +1 gives Twisted a range +1 of Devour It. Oh, it's range. I see what you're saying now. So if it's in a Twisted space, Hans, then that +1 means it could attack one away, so a hand like shoots out and grabs. Completely missed that. I will fix it, but we're going to keep going. But thank you, Hans. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. So now it's Felicia's turn. She has 5 turns. She's going to spend 1 to get rid of that slowed. She has 4 turns left, and she is going to move out of the place. So the escape value of that crawler is 1, and the Twisted is 2, so that's 3. Her escape value is 5. Yeah. She just saw her mom and her sister and everyone she ever loved or cared about recently reach up through the floor to grab her. She is running. So she is going to run. She got 4 movements. 1, there is nothing there. 2, there's 2 of those guys there, which is, they have 2 escape, which is she's fine. 3, which a blind is there, 0 escape value. 4, she dives into the water and she swims. She goes down from 5 to 4. Oh boy. That was, she freaked out and ran away. Ravenous turn. Ravenous is going to move. I can split it up any way that I see fit. The only Ravenous in here are this guy who sees her and is like gonna lumber forward in the water. This one is going to move here. They're just all coming in this space here with these 2 guys. And we're gonna split up the damage between Sam and Arthur. So one's gonna attack Sam. He's gonna, and it's Ravenous, so Sam takes 1 damage, so he's down to 3. The other one's gonna attack Arthur. Arthur's gonna take a damage. So Arthur takes 1 damage. Then the other one is gonna attack Arthur again. Arthur blocks it with a success. Alright, that ends their turn. It is Arthur's turn. Arthur's not slowed. -1. So that -1 that's here says you gain escape -1 while you're in this space. So I ended my turn there. My escape is -1, so Arthur's is 5, so now it's 4. There are 3 in there. Each one is worth 1, so there's just 3. Oh, and when they ended their activation, actually I didn't do this right. When they ended their activation, if there's 2 there, they morph into what do you look like? You just look awful. I have a mini for this guy. Let's see. Where are you? That's an agony. Oh, these are blights. Those aren't blights. Those are something much, much worse. Those are blights. You back. Only 1 blight anyway. No, there's more than 1. You are a blight. You are a blight upon society. Okay. So, you morph into... There's not a mini for him. That's disappointing. I don't have a mini for him. The carnivore, or cannibal, sorry, the cannibal. You don't want to see these other things, like these monsters are scary beyond belief. They're a painter's dream. I will morph all of so this one. Let me put this thing on it to indicate that he is a cannibal because I don't see a mini for the cannibal. So he morphs into a cannibal. All right, so cannibals have 3, plus the other one that's there making it 4. So for escaping, Arthur's is down to 4. Is it meets or is it you have to beat? Let's find out. To get out of dodge, action, search action, escape. Probably a hidden door. Canje, can she get to the space from the corridor? -1. Don't see a door. The space to the corridor. Which one? Oh, you're right. You are right. You are right. So when I came through 4, I came here, and I can't get there because there isn't a door there. Magic door, everybody, magic door. So I will. Ugh, she's gonna stop here. So she'll still have her breath. She's gonna stop in the worst place possible. Oh, but she gets a free move action. She gets a free move action, so she would have been able to go here. Woo! So it would have gone down 4. It still would have worked out because she had a free move action. She would not have been here, so that's my mistake. She ends her turn here, which means she gains a madness token because she ends a turn there. Yep, you gain what? You take 1 madness token. So she takes a madness token, but she jumps into the water, so she freaked out and ran. But good catch. Thanks, Kate. Let's see. How do I get? Do I have to meet or exceed to run? Escaping. Escape. They don't talk about escaping, even though it's like all over the internet for people to say, "This is how you escape." And I promise you can. I'm not lying to you. I just have to find where it's written in the fine print of the book. On deck, bar phase, on phase. It's probably hidden with like an attack or something. Refresh phase, move. See unlock, reset hatch, an investigator may perform a move action to his or her figure into adjacent space. Spaces aren't considered adjacent since they separate. Figures cannot move through walls, which is what I just did and fixed it. So here we go. An investigator escape is displayed on the bottom left corner of his or her investigator card. An investigator's escape may be increased or reduced by several effects shown as devourers. A monster's trap is displayed on the bottom left of their card. A monster's trap may also be. An investigator cannot move out of his or her current space if the total trap of the monsters in the same space equals or exceeds his escape. So I can't run because of that silly thing. So then he wasn't slowed, so he still has all his actions. He's gonna start just like Rambo screaming, shooting at everything. So the thing has 6 stinking health. I just need to kill one of them to run. I just need to kill one of them. So he's going to go and try to kill the Ravenous that's there. 5 dice. So he's gonna try to kill it. 2, 3 successes because 4s are successes. He kills the Ravenous. He doesn't have any. So this happens. I'll hold this up. So now let's read with my glasses because, you know. Williams experiment number 2. Sphere test day 4. After initial interactions with the sphere, it has been placed on lockdown. This, along with the anathema now surrounding the sphere, has made it difficult to conduct further human testing. Luckily, those in charge recognize my need for subjects and have agreed to covertly supply my demand. Ugh. Preliminary results are fascinating. The sphere seems to amplify and channel human emotion, with the strongest emotions resonating deepest. Of course, as was the case during the initial incident, the emotion I observed it amplifying the most is fear. Dr. William West, you may immediately perform a free action. I got my action back. So I'm back up to 5. And it has 3. I have 4. Bye-bye. 1. Where theirs are 2. Oh, no, theirs are 2 and 2. Oh, so that's 1. So I got 4. I gotta kill one of these. Oh no, I'm back up to 5. That thing doesn't count me down. So I'm back up to 5. Those are 4. I don't have to do it. So that's 1. So I'm back up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, splash. And kill and shoot that thing. With my bolt gun. And yes, guns work in water here. They didn't work out that mechanic. One success. 2 success. I'm going to spend a. I gotta kill this thing, so we gotta do what we gotta do. So, taking 1 to reroll 1 die. Before rolling, you may exhaust 1 sanity to gain 1 extra die, range on target, 1 extra or 1 extra damage if it's close range, 1 extra distance of a gun. I'm okay. Success 3. Bye bye. So its horror value is 1, so that sanity turns into a madness. That is all his actions. Oh goodness. Okay. Okay. I'm a K. I'm a K. I'm a K. I'm a K. Hysteria turn. Oh boy. So they special move. So they special, nobody's there. And then they're gonna move. Oh Sam. Oh Sam. Oh Sam. So move. I'm holding off on those 2 just now. Move. Alright. Oh, Sam. So they both come in here. They couldn't perform their special, so they're going to attack. They actually don't do any damage. So let's see what they do. The target investigator is possessed by the hysteria at the end of the attack, and is if they're devoured and is slowed, which they are. So they're going to attack Sam. They're not going to do damage, but they're going to hurt. They're going to possess him. So, basically, I have to roll at least 1 success to not get possessed twice. Sam's possessed. So when Sam becomes possessed, what happens? Oh dear. So let's see. Oh dear. What happens when you become possessed? Yep, it says so here too, Hans. I saw it in the book in the fine print that symbol means distance. Yep. So you were absolutely right. Thank you. Not Sam, sorry, Hans. Thank you, Hans. So possessing. Possessed. Possessed is a special status of the monster Hysteria. If a Hysteria has possessed an investigator, place its monster figure on the investigator's card. The Hysteria is no longer considered to be on the game board. This Hysteria's trap still impacts the possessed investigator when it performs its special action. It is treated as being in the same space with the possessed investigator. If the investigator is in a devoured room, the Hysteria's devoured ability will take effect, which means Sam is slowed. He is possessed and slowed. The Hysteria can only be dealt damage during an investigator's attack action as if it was still in the same space with the possessed investigator. So it did something weird to him, and it's on him. Oh. And then the other one, you can only do 1 possession at a time, so you can't stack up possessions. So now it's Sam's turn. Sam is possessed. He is slowed. Okay, so basically what it does is it flies on and it stabs into him and hooks onto him. And it's going to hurt him unless he gets it off. Get it off, get it off, get it off. So he's not weakened. So he's got 4 actions. He's going to spend 1 action rolling 5 dice to do exactly that. Get it off, get it off, get it off. So 1 success. His weapon is awful. So that's 1. He can't get away from these creatures. Their escape track value is too high. No successes on a 2. He's got 2 more to go. If Sam dies, we lose the scenario. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Woo! You saw it here first, folks. Trash rolls 3 times in a row. Alright, that ends his turn. Oh man. It's the blind's turn. The blind's gonna move. I got a blind here. He'll move. Got a blind here. He'll move because they ran past him. And those are the only blinds on the board. Oh my god. Okay. The professor's turn. His escape value is 4. The twisted is 2, and that little creature's is 1, so it's 3. So he can run. Oh boy. Yeah, and you say Sam's ability. I can move a non-epic monster on the board 1 space towards me. So Sam's just, his martyrdom's gonna get him killed. The professor is not slowed at all, so he can run. He'll move. I've got 4 movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, bad idea. 1, stuck. 1, 2, 3, 4, even worse idea. 1, 2, 3, 4. He'll get attacked by 1, but at least he'll be there. No, these things will split up and kind of come at him and possess him. But it's better than that, and it's a prolonged damage rate. Oh boy. He couldn't get past this anyway, because that's 3 and 2, 5. Oh boy. Let him, he's gonna try to unless Sam gets rid of one of those things, he's a dead man. And Sam's going last next round. The dice are insane. I should have. I see my flaw. Let's play this out, though. Let's play this out because I saw where I was flawed. I should have just ran, just booked it. So. I'm gonna try to kill the Twisted with 3 dice. His first one is just to try to kill that Twisted. There's a 4. A 4 is a success. Remember, his altered states on attack removes his resistance, and then the splicing reality, because it has a tag on it already, also does that as well. So he gets 1 attack through with a 4, killing the Twisted. Oh. And then, because he has no madness on him, he's going to pull this card. Okay, so let's read it. Oh my god. This is madness. We have been ordered to guard the doors outside the bay containing the sphere. We heard noises inside that made our skin crawl and our stomachs churn. but our job was our job, so we kept our mouths shut. Then we started seeing things. We got tenser and paranoia. We got tenser and paranoia set in. We began snapping at each other, and I saw him go for his weapon. I swear he did. So I drew first, and I blew his brains out. I killed him. I killed Strickland. Private Park, security of Kadath facility, outbreak number 5. So Williams has been experimenting on people, and so has the corporation. So that's one. He's then going to move here, and he's going to try to kill this hysteria. Oh, my word. 2, his altered state says on an attack he removes their resistance. He kills it. Whoa. Go ahead, Doc. Okay. Oh, and this one where it spawned in was flipped to the back. So this is where we can kind of do some board control from what I just read, but let's do this. Williams Revelations number 3. Observation. I'm struck by the ways the sphere vindicates the teachings of the Golden Dawn Church and the drastic way it proves them wrong. Their focus on freeing the consciousness was absolutely correct, and their early convictions regarding higher dimensions was remarkable, considering how such ideas had only taken root in mainstream science comparatively recently. However, their idea that humanity's elevation will come through detached enlightenment was sorely mistaken. Such transcendence can only come through the purifying crucible, and that crucible manifests as abject fear, by Dr. William West. You may choose and discard a devour effect from the board. A devour effect. I'm going to get rid of this -1 because I need Sam to live. Okay, so that was 2. This monster has 1 and 6 health, so he's got 2 more to go. Sam can live. Okay. He's gonna attack. He's gonna stay with Sam. He's gonna stay with Sam. 1 hit gets through his defense. He takes, of the 6 health that he has, he goes down to 5. So, that's a big one. Need a small one. Need a small one. So he takes 1 damage. So he takes 1 damage. So that's 3. He's got 1 more turn. He's gonna hit at it again with the crowbar. Miss. All misses. Alright. Putrid's turn. Putrid's going to move 1. Is that the only Putrid? That was the only Putrid. Yep, that was it. Alright, and cleanup phase. Voice cracking from death imminent. Sam moves to the end. Arthur's down. Nothing, nothing. Roman goes to the top. We shuffle this up. If they can go, I can grab that token, and I am running for my life. First one, Romy gets a 2. Felicia gets a 2, and then 1-1. Okay. Start back up at the top, but we gotta do our Devour Room. Our Devour Room is going to be 21. So we'll put you here to symbolize you were there. You 2, you 3 here to symbolize you were over there. Got this. Flip it. Back. 3 here. Here. And then. No undead. No undead. And then we put a token here. And a bag effect. That -1's going back in the bag. You know. Go. Sanity. Okay. Then we advance. That's the devoured effect, which goes here. Then we draw 3 cards. So remember those monsters that oh, Delirium's not in the game. Thank Myrtle. Who's next? Agony's not in the game. A putrid. 1 putrid pops up at where that happened. So putrid pops up here. That's 1. 2 husks, 1 at number 2. And 1 at number 20. That's 2. No agonies. We're not fighting those. And a putrid pops up at 10. The last putrid at 10. So killing them does help. Sorta. First, 2 are 2, 4, 17, 20, 10. Okay. And 10 goes to the bottom of the pile. All right. Roman. You can escape this guy now. Both of you can. So Roman could go. He's got 5 actions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get there. And get the heck out. Oh, wait. Mind Eaters are always activated first. Mind Eaters move, and attack. Move. 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 So, there's 4 of them. There are 2 of us. Yay! 1 on Samuel. 4 damage. Another on Samuel. Blocks it. 1 on Roman. 1 damage. Another on Roman. 2 damage. Okay. Here we go. So now we are going. So now it's Roman's turn. He's going to try killing these things because I thought he was going to be able to run in here with them, but he's not. 3 dice. Melee. So he's got 2. He's got 2 successes. And remember what I tell you about melee. Melee is not target specific, so you can break them up. So 1 kills this guy. 1 kills this guy. So they both die. Ugh. Okay. So yeah, he has no math. Williams Revelations number 1. Observation. It is not necessary to keep the consciousness enslaved in its physical cage. It is possible to separate the 2. Yeah, I did that. It is possible to separate the 2 while still leaving the consciousness free to manipulate the material realm. This could be described as almost like haunting, if you like, but with a much more powerful influence on physical matter. Perhaps it's more appropriate to relate this to godhood rather than mere haunting. I've established how to separate the consciousness from most physical processes. Further study will be required to completely sever the connection. You may choose to discard a devoured effect from the board. Yeah. Okay, so that was his first. His second, because it's still at 5. One. He kills one. Here we go. And Williams revelation number 2. I have successfully engaged with the sphere. It's not an entity in the sense that we would normally think of a single isolated being. Rather, it is a glorious chaos of consciousness, each lord leached or coerced from other dimensional planes and condensed into one relatively microscopic physical space. These energies, these selves, would boggle the mind if one were actually able to see them all. Is it possible to contain a cosmos in the head of a pin? The answer from the sphere seems to be yes. Dr. William West, you may choose and discard a Devour effect. So that was he moved one in his space. No, he was already there. So he attacked once, he attacked twice, he's got 3 more things to do. 4, which is a success. +1. Give me a free action, please. Okay. We're gathering as many people as we can, and we're going to get rid of that thing. So far, we've got about 30 people who are willing to stand up to the executives and also step into the same room as the sphere. Our first goal is to get it out of Kadath. We'll figure out the next step from there. We don't want to do this. Not at all. But if we don't, everyone will die. It's just a matter of time. Gerald White, miner from Kadath facility. You may heal 1 madness, and that's outbreak number 7. So you see it kind of this backstory of what happened here kind of unraveling. It looks like the corporation has empowered this Dr. Williams to experiment on people with the sphere. And at first some guards went crazy guarding outside the door sometime around that timeline. And then now the facility's revolting and being like, we need to get this thing out, but it looks like something bad happened. So that was 3. He's got 2 more. Go 1, 2 to run. Putrid's 6 health too. Let's see if I can hurt this cannibal. The cannibal's gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna try to hurt the cannibal. Two successes. I cut through his stuff. He takes 3 damage. Rest is up to you, Sam. But, oh, 1 more. I got 1 more turn. Yep, missed. So the rest is up to you, Sam. That's his turns. The husks go. 1. 1. 2 dudes. I'm almost out of these little critters. 1. 1, they're on devoured spaces, so 1, 2. 1, 2. And that ends their turn. Nobody's there. The Twisted goes. Twisted moves 1. The only Twisted there. Nobody. The Cannibal goes first. The Cannibal's going to attack. It's going to go for 2 damage. The Doctor was there, swiping at it, trying to help. He blocks 2. I got 2 successes. Wow. So the Doctor doesn't get hit. So that's that guy. Then the Ravenous go where there are move. So move. Because the line's there to determine that you can go in or out. Move. And that's it. So that's going to happen. We're going to split off the attacks here. They're going to attack. There's 2 in the same space too. Ugh. So they're going to morph. They're going to attack. So first of all, they're going to attack Arthur. takes the damage, so he goes up to 2. Then they're going to attack Felicia. Blocks 1, so she doesn't take any damage. That ends their phase. It says after Ravenous have been activated, if there are 2, they both morph into oh boy. All right, that ends their turn. Felicia's turn. All right, girl. Give me what you got. She can perform 1 free move action, so she's going to move. She's going to attempt to get that item. She gets it. Oh. All right, so that's 1, and she's got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So she's got, how much is this? This is, her movement is 5. So she's got 2, 4, 5. Oh man. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, she's gonna do it. But she's gonna attack. One person just needs to reach that goal, and she's got everything she needs. We are running, and then she's gonna attack. She's gonna attack something. Something with 1 health. The Husk has 4. The Hysteria has 2. And the Putrid has 6. So she's going for the Hysteria for a final run. 1 success. She's going to spend the madness to reroll a die. Actually, she's going to exhaust the sanity to reroll 2, which is what her ability says. 2 die. She's going to do it again. There we go. It dies. It has of 1, so that one turns into a madness. So she's got 1 more madness to go before she goes crazy. She is my goose. She is running. I have to keep Sam alive. So that ends her turn. The Hysteria goes. Special effect procs on Sam because he's possessed. If the Hysteria is possessed, the investigator takes 2 wounds, is slowed, and that ends its activation. So Sam is up to 6 damage, and he is slowed. He's got 4 health left. Come on, girly. So, that ends that Hysteria that's on his. The others are here. They come into his space. This one moves here. Is it a move? Special move, attack. So it's going to try to possess the doctor. The doctor got 2 successes. No, you don't, jerk. Then they come in. All 3 of them are going to try to possess him. He blocks 1. He's got a success. 1. Nope, he's possessed. So he is possessed. Arthur is. All right. That ends their go. Then it is Arthur's turn. Arthur has 4 turns. Arthur, you're possessed. You're in a room with a devourer, so you're also slowed. So you can't run even if you want to. You got 4. You could spend 1 to run, 1 to remove the slowed. So you got 3. 1. You can escape out of. Nope. This one is that's a 3, 4, 5, 6. There's no way you can. So you're going on the attack. So you're gonna roll 5 to attack. To roll an additional die, he's gonna burn the Golden Dawn to make it 6. He's gonna roll 6. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. So these kills this one. He doesn't have a madness. I mean, a thing for it to work. So Golden Dawn comes up. And then this says, the duck says, cattle must be contained. Golden Dawn number 4. Cattle must be contained. Sheep must be corralled. Pigs require pens. Why would we think it'd be any different with man? The duality of base passions and the spark of conscious will is confined within man. Yet most are content to root in the mind and enslave the consciousness. Some are little more than beasts and require treatment as such. It is the place of the enlightened to be lords of the beasts. They will usher in the Golden Dawn. The enlightened way teachings of the Golden Dawn. Keep this card. Discard this card at any time to reroll 1. Alright. So that was his first. That was Arthur's first attack that he boosted with. Second attack, he's going to burn it to get that additional because I'm tired of failing. Force of successes, so that's 3 successes. This thing dies. Actually, the one on him dies. Sorry. And he'll kill the one on him. Yep. But he's no longer possessed. Alright. So this says, outbreak number 3. I hadn't heard from Mr. Roth in a couple of days. I figured he was spooked, like most of us, so I went to check on him. I buzzed him on his node, but all I heard was some bumping and moaning inside his room. Thinking he might be hurt or sick, I overrode his hatch. Roth was gone. His face was a pulp of flesh, and his stomach bulged, almost like he was pregnant. Then, his torso split open and these things spilled out. Lawrence Quinn, supervisor of Kadath's facility. You may heal 1 madness. Boom. Healed. Oops. Right. Alright. So that's 2. Then he's going to... It's still not enough for him to escape. He's going to attack again. 4 successes. He probably could have killed this thing by now, but he's going to kill that. So that I don't die. He's been doing well. He's been doing very well. He's got all 4 of his movements. So, Golden Dawn number 2. 18. Zakabu found his arms lifted by the celestial beings and was taken with them to a higher plane of existence. They radiated with the power of his own wonder and appeared like burned stars before him. 19. While most would cover in fear, Zakabu was not afraid. He stood boldly before the people of consciousness, and they revealed to him the secret of existence. 20. They told him the way of enlightenment and of mankind's second dawn, land of the blazing stars. Keep this card, use it to gain 1. And he has a space of 3, so he's used 3 actions so far. He's got 4. I wish he had 1 more because that's step 1 and then clear some of this rabble from her. But he's going to use this to roll 5 to see if he can hit this thing at all. He rolled 2 successes. It has 1 shield. It takes 1 damage. Okay. All right. That ends his turn. It's the blind's turn. The blind. Here it is. The move. There's supposed to be another blind. Move. That's it. So attack. Blind moves towards the nearest investigator line of sight, which it does, and it attacks. So it's attacking for 2. He takes 2 damage, so he's at 4, halfway down. And then it does its special. Its special says, choose an investigator in blind sight to be weakened. All the investigators in line of sight is weakened. It can see here. So weakened, weakened, because it's on a devoured space. And that ends its turn. That one moved one. That ends its turn. Sam's turn. Oh, Sam. Why is there two things on here? Shouldn't be two things. He's slow dart. Oh, Sam. Sam, that is 3. Sam's movement is 4. He can't get through these. Sam is going to do some attacking. Exhaust. You don't have any more sanity to exhaust. So Sam is going to roll some dice and see what happens. 1. 1 success, which he's going to kill this thing. It has 0 horror, so he doesn't flip a token. He's going to roll again. 2 successes. I'll only hurt the hysteria 1. I need 3 to kill the hysteria. So on him, which is what I'm hoping for. So he's 2 successes. That would just put that down to 4 damage. I'm gonna kill this guy because I'm not ready to flip any sanity yet. That's 2. Oops. 2 successes. He's going to hit this guy, which will push it 4. Actually, he has a token on him, doesn't he? During fishing, you may exhaust one sanity to mark a non-epic monster. This monster's resistance is for each marker it is taken. So it's taken, so it would have done it, so he'd have been up to 5. Yep, the dock hit him. 1 success. It doesn't have any more. That kills it. Gravy. But it has 2 crazy, so 2 of these are going to flip. That dies, so that's 3. Alright, it's got to kill this. He's got to. Come on, give me a 3. Give me a 3 success. Give me a 3 success, please. Nope. And that ends his turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that ends his turn. Alright. We just need to, I just need all of y'all to stay alive. 1 final round. Felicia's gonna have to kill one of these monsters and then run. Run very far and wide. We're getting there. We're getting there. Alright, so Sam goes 1, Doc goes 2, Felicia goes 2, Guy goes 1. Alright, so that's the refresh phase. Rooms falling into madness is number 4. I'll read the effect because that's the last card room. If it says all rooms fall, we lose, then I lost. Otherwise, got 1 more to go. So let me read that. Let me read the lose conditions. Oh, wait. That wouldn't have happened. That wouldn't have happened. That wouldn't have happened. I almost messed myself up. That would not have happened. This room's still where it is. Hasn't funny. Paratrack moves here to this symbol. And that symbol says each investigator exhausts 2 oxygen. The maximum oxygen level is reduced to 3. Woof. So 2. 1, 2. Oh no, she got out. Nope, she's still under. Actually, I didn't do it when she moved because she went 1. So she was at 4 when she got there. 3, 2, 1, 0, and then she removes by 2, 1, 2. So now she needs to roll 2 dice to see if she fails a success, she gets damage. 1 success, so she takes 1 damage, so she's drowning. And that's where she is. This guy goes down 2. This guy goes down 2, because he's kind of holding on. Alright. Oh my word. She is drowning. If she gets the skull, she dies. She needs to get 1, 2, 3, 4. She needs to get there. Oh boy. Alright. And that's at the end of her turn. She has to roll that because she's drowning. Alright, Sam went. The Huss turn. Gonna move 1, 1. Proc. Proc. 1, 2. 1, 2. I skipped I skipped the spawn phase, which was on 17. There was a blight, and on 8 there is a blight. I skipped the spawn phase, so I messed that up. So let me get them out here. Where's 8, 10? And then one more. A Twisted appears on 15. Great place for it to appear. Awesome sauce. All right, so then Sam went. He did his stuff. Then the Husks went. They proc. They did their stuff. The Mind Eden would have gone 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. This would have been here. Oh, 1 would have been there. That's as far as they would have gone. It's just that. Yep. Then they're going to attack first because they were supposed to go first before Sam, so let's play it right. So they're going to attack between them two. So the professor will take a damage. Blocked. Professor will take a damage. Professor will take a damage. Alright. Alright, so then the Husks went. Now it's the Professor's turn. Because I want to play it right. So I messed up. I put it back in the proper order of how things should have happened. We're ready to go. So the Professor is going to attack with his crowbar because he can't escape. 3 successes on a melee attack. I can kill that Hysteria because they already went. So I'm going to kill this Hysteria. The Professor hasn't lost sanity yet, so we get the Golden Dawn next thing. Sam hasn't gone. Sam did go. Sam went. I put him up there. He had 4. He killed these 2 things that were here, and then he killed the cannibal that was there, and that ended his turn. What ended up happening was I missed a couple things. I missed advancing the marker, so I went back, did that. I missed spawning, so I did that. And then I missed that the Mind Eaters went first, so I went back and did that. And remember, I did Sam's move, then I did all that stuff. Instead, I went back, I did all that stuff, and Sam still already went, so we moved ahead. Alright, so I don't know if I showed this one yet. There we go, for people who want to pause it later. Alright. So, 32. Golden Dawn number 6. 32. Even in this, we must not stumble, always maintaining the clarity of our percepts. 33. Thou best be dark souls seeking to snuff the light we shepherd. We remain vigilant in service to the great end. 34. Our truth is scorned by the veiled gaze of the lesser, and so we treat them as they are, blind men stumbling in the dark. 35. Our leadership will guide them through the new day, when their eyes shall either be opened or stripped away. Percepts, Book of the Golden Dawn. Keep this card, discard this card to roll an additional die. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Doc. Doc. We're gonna be doing that. So you killed that guy. Escape value is now, you've got, so that was one action, you've got 4 left, and escape value is now, actually, I'm not going to kill that guy. I'm going to kill the guy that's on Sam. So that gets the thing off Sam, so Sam's not going to suffer automatic 2 damage. He's going to roll again because it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 success. Going to kill 2 of them. Draw another card. Oh, that's beautiful. You get some health back. So let's see what we got. Hey, what's up, Rory? How you doing? Early Kadath number 3. We're fine. We're gonna make this. We're gonna live. I've noticed some strange behavior among some of my people. Many of them seem to be on a razor's edge recently. A couple of them have reported seeing things, strange, otherworldly creatures that simply couldn't exist. The church told me of the power that was down here. Perhaps my crew is turning into that. It may be that they're sensing the energy we will use to change the world. Who knows? Maybe it's imbuing them with its own essence. What a riveting thought. Edgar Keiss, lead engineer of Kadath facility. You may heal 1 wound. He's going to 4 health. Okay, that was his second one. He burned this to roll that 4th dice. Alright. Then he attacks. 1. Kills 1 of them. He is the only thing keeping Sam alive. I'm gonna tell you that. Early Kadath number 1. Bird. We began construction of the new facility today. This is going to push us all to the limits. Let me tell you, but it's going to be absolutely incredible when it's finished. Even now I can see it rising like a metropolis out of the deep that only the privileged few will ever see. The plans for this thing are just unreal. They're calling it a mining facility. A mining facility! That's like calling Jesus a country bumpkin who makes furniture. Edgar Keiss, lead engineer, Kadath facility. You may heal 1 wound. Alright. So that was 3. He's going to attack again. 2 successes. Cuts through his shielding. Kills him. So he dies. Alright. Williams, revelation number 4. I seem to have found the path to gain mastery over the sphere. It will require culling the conscious essence from many of the remaining sheep in Kadath, but they will give it up to the sphere soon enough if they don't give it to me first. I am, in no uncertain terms, humanity's last hope. Only I can harness the sphere, stave off its spread across the world, and bring the church's long sought after enlightenment to mankind. Really, they should thank me for taking what I need. Dr. William West. Jeez, you may remove an effect. What can get in her way? What can get in her way? I'm going to remove this. Okay, so that's 4. He's got 1 more. Good job to keep Sam alive. Come on. He did it. All right. Okay. Early Kadath number 2. We completed work on the facility's first dome today. It was marvelous to see the water pumped away as the scrubbers churned out real breathable atmosphere. We're officially spending our first night in the facility. we don't exactly have the fullest accommodations. Oh, poshest, sorry, the poshest accommodations, but our excitement more than makes up for it. Truth be told, we're a little nervous about a breach as well. All that said, I couldn't be prouder of my team. This place we're building will change the world. Edgar Keiss, lead engineer at Kadath facility. Heal 1 wound. And that's his 5. Whew. Good job, Roman. Good job. Okay, if we can get to Felicia without her dying, or somebody dying, we're in good hands. So that ends his turn, the Twisted's turn. They move 1. They don't have range attack, and I removed that token from there so they can't get range attack. So that's that movement, and that's it. Next up, nobody. Then the Ravenous move. There's 1 Ravenous here. Well, no, he's a cannibal. And that is all. Oh, there's 1 here. 1, 2. I know the cannibals are supposed to go first, which they will. I just wanted to move that other one. So the cannibal moves. It's going to move, attack, but it's just going to attack. And I need to roll to defend against 2 1s, double 1s. So he's going to move from 5 to 6. He's got 2 health left. Goes to blank. To the Hysteria. No Hysterias, they've been wiped out. To Felicia, who has 5 activation. So that is, he has nothing. He has 2. Sweet. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Roll for it. So 1. Hold on. How far is she? 2, 3. Yes, she can make it. Oh, thank God. 1, 2, 3. She's up. Breathe. And then she can escape the 4. And then 5. So she just has to roll a success. And I am burning sanity like nobody's business. Success! Woohoo! I got a success. Sweet. We've completed the scenario. If I have made any mistakes, I'm going to read the ending. I'm going to read the ending because she made it. And she activated the oxygen. I'm going to read the ending. Now, I want to say to people who are more pros at this, because this was my very first playthrough, if I've made any mistakes, and I know Hans will keep me honest, and anybody else who please do. If I've made any mistakes in this scenario, please point it out in the comments or in the chat, wherever it is, and I will adjust them for scenario 2. But we beat scenario 1 from the rules that I followed so far. Okay, they just said 1 person has to make it. She made it. She made the success. Winning. All 3 clues have been placed on the objective marker, which is here. So, yeah, there was only 2. I didn't see where the 3rd one was. There's a 3rd one? I messed that up in the setup. Look, it was right here, which I would have picked it up. I'm going to call it a win only because it's my first time playing. I screwed it up. I'm sorry. I'll say it's an asterisk win. So it's just an asterisk. I missed one. There was supposed to be one right here. If you look in the book, see it right here. I completely missed it in setup. It got away from me. I sincerely apologize. I'll call it a complete with an asterisk to just say, I won, but So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to get through, I'll move on to chapter 2. And then after we get as far as we're going to get, I'm going to replay this properly. And I'm going to put one back in there and we're going to go through it again to see if we can get it. Okay? So just to make it, who cares? It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, but that's what I'll do. I completely missed that. I'll put an asterisk on it. We'll play next Sunday. We'll play chapter 2 and we'll go through. And then what we'll do is we'll go back and I'm going to replay the scenario, putting it there. And now that I know what I know, we're gonna replay this one, but I'm gonna call it a win for this with a star on it, okay? And I'll make sure to notate that. I'll be like victory star. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I would have gotten it too because it was before all the monsters started too, Kate. So I'm sorry. My apologies to the creators of the game and all the fans of the Facebook page who truly take this game seriously. It was my bad, but like I said, I'll put a star on it, and then we'll go back, we'll replay it, and I'll make it right. I promise. So the ending says, "Go, go, go!" Drake cries, skidding into the room as the floor behind him erupts with pulsing, writhing tentacles and horrid, vicious life. He slams the hatch control and collapses against the wall as the slab of metal seals off the corridor behind him. "What the hell were those things?" Dr. Armitage asked, panting. "You don't honestly expect an answer, do you?" Dr. Asimov replies. "We're almost out of time," Samuel says, wiping sweat from his forehead. "Do we have everything?" "Here," Randy says, unloading the data cards and other miscellanea you've all recovered. Arthur takes from. Sorry, let me start over. Arthur takes from her and turns the data center's hub terminal. First, he enters the environmental controls. "I found the oxygen leak," he said. "It was caused by the crash of the enlightened day. I think I can isolate the area." "Do it," Samuel orders. You can hear everyone wheezing even above the methodical pounding of blood in your ears." Arthur taps several controls. For a minute that stretches into hours, nothing seems to happen. Then, as the room begins to swim, you hear and feel the welcome sss of oxygen. "Ah, finally," Dr. Armitage grasps. Several people laugh in nervous agreement. "They found something," Arthur says. "The miners. It looks like they dug something up that was..." They keep saying things like historic and the most important discovery ever unearthed. And then the reports start to describe strange things taking place throughout the facility. Paranormal activity. "Who noticed?" Drake says. "There's something else," Arthur says. He taps the button and a man's face appears. "Hello," the man says. "I am Dr. William West. If you're watching this, I assume you've been sent to ascertain the state of affairs on Kadath. I've been studying the phenomena that have now overtaken this facility since their inception. I know how to stop what's happening, but I require you to help to do so. They are coming for me, for us. Time is very short. Attached, you will find directions to my laboratory. I implore you, come with all haste, before it's too late." "I've got his directions here," Arthur announced. "There's a shuttle that'll take us a good chunk of the way to his office, but it's almost a whole region away. What say you, Captain?" "I don't think we've got much choice," Samuel says. "Let's go find that shuttle." And that is the end of Chapter 1 of Deep Madness. Whoa, this game is brutal, but I understand what was supposed to happen. My mistake was I did the Zombicide thing. And for people who don't know what that is, in Zombicide, you will spend ridiculous amounts of time just sitting in one place killing zombies so that others can do other things. That doesn't work in this game. This game is about strategy and teamwork. As soon as I realize I can get that token to Felicia and get her to the edge, and only one person needs to get to the specific ending to solve the problem, my job was to get her there. And it became a rush attack, and that's how you deal with the first scenario. Rush through, get everything you need, and get out, because time is not on your side. It's going to destroy you. I mean, after her turn, it would have moved again. More bad things would have happened. She was drowning, and oh my gosh, that she almost died getting out of there, because when she ends her turn is when I have to roll those dice. But she broke surface here, seeing this monster, ran past it to the terminal, slammed on there, and won the scenario with a success. That was awesome. Maybe check the rulebook and check page 26 for the more prepared variant. You can take some extra. Hans, I read the prepared variant. I didn't want to. That's the thing. Like, so what Hans is talking about is there's two variants in the book. There's the more prepared variant, which gives you a syringe. Each player gets a syringe of health or boost or something to help them go through. And then there's another variant that has epic bosses in it. So with these monsters come these epic bosses, and I can show you one of them. This is one of them. Look at this thing. Epic boss. So it's an epic monster that is on the facility. And like I said, people who like to paint, this is all your jam. So, but I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do the syringes. I wanted to go in raw, no help, and just well, not no help. Of course I want you to help me, right? But I mean no help from the game in terms of, all right, well, do this because the game might be too hard. I wanted to try it out on a normal mode and then run through it. I will not be doing hard mode because normal mode is hard enough. Yeah, it is quite scary. I didn't want to get those cards, and they're syringe cards that kind of give you health or boost or reduce sanity. I did okay. I think I did okay. I was able to get past these creatures, especially since the blight didn't have any to stop me. I was able to bypass and get to where I needed to go to end the scenario. It's doable. It's just there's a lot of strategy to it, and you have to be thinking. Sam almost died, but he made it. So the team made it to the end, and we survived. This game is fun. I love this one. I love these consciousness cards because I like I have no idea what happened on this facility, just like you don't. We started this together, and just kind of unraveling that there's this cult, there's this like religion called Golden Dawn that speaks of the sphere and how it will transcend mankind. Then there's Dr. Williams, who is a guy who's got his head up his butt and thinks that he's the second coming, but he feels that it's his moral duty to save humanity by sacrificing people. I mean, if there isn't a bad guy, I hope he's the bad guy at the end so I can kill him. But that, and then you start learning about how the facility was created. You start hearing stories from guards and engineers and people who work there about what happened. I mean, they build a really great environment on this. The consciousness cards really build it up, and there's still a lot left for me to go, right? But I mean, I'll shuffle it all back for the second one, and then we'll go through the consciousness. So there's more story, there's more finding out what's going on. We know that something befell them, and we know that Dr. Williams has been sacrificing them, but not to what extent, right? Or what is the sphere? Where did they dig it up? Was it in the first dome? What does it mean other than it feeds on fear? Well, it feeds on emotion, but fear the most. And then did these creatures come from the sphere, or did they come from the people that were left on Kadath after it came out? Like, we don't know. And I want to know more. There's also this item deck that I haven't had a chance to really get through. So they had some really cool weapons. Dr. Asimov, the mad scientist, was clutch because he saved Sam's life. But he was clutch, and they all got to where they needed to. Yeah, the story is great, Hans. I'm really enjoying it. So let's go back up. Let's chat. Let's talk. Let's bust a rap. So, what did y'all think? What did you all think of this game so far? Like I said, I made some errors. I know I did. I'm sorry, but I had a lot of fun with this. I spilled my tray all over the floor, so I've got to pick that up after I get done streaming. But how is this for a Deep Madness Sunday, right? This is so much fun. I enjoyed. Oh, I'm excited to find out what happens next. Chapter 2 is called The Last Shuttle to Hell. So yeah, we're gonna find out what happens. Like I said, in the beginning there was a lot of setup because we were doing it. I read the rules to make sure that I could tell y'all what to do as I set up, and or what I was doing as I was setting up, and then we got into the story and things started moving. Last Shuttle to Hell, there's not gonna be, I'll touch back briefly on the setup, but I'll make sure I do it proper this time, and we'll hop in and we'll see what is in store for them as they have to get wherever they're going. Yeah, I really like this game a lot. I recommend this game so much. And I went the all-in Kickstarter, which gave you the doors that you get. It also gave you... So the story's broken up into chapters in the first book, which ends the story of this group. Then there's an expansion with some more scenarios that deals with a whole different group. And we get to go in and find out what happens with them. And that one has what's called a true ending in it that we get to play and see what happens. It's awesome. They also had Dimension Games also had a campaign for one called Dawn of Madness, which was a prequel to Deep Madness. It doesn't play like Deep Madness at all. There isn't a board for you to. There's a board for you to lay out, but it's not scenarios like you're on Kadath. You're not returning to Kadath. That story ends with Deep Madness. But well, Deep Madness and its expansions. But they have it's like a dreamscape. It's not how it moves. You have these different versions of yourself, and they help you, but there's a monster hunting you, so you have to deal with it. I didn't back that one. I backed it at first, and then I saw like, okay, you buy that game, then you got to buy this expansion, then this expansion. Oh, then you got to buy this expansion. This investigator comes with these sets of stuff, and then it became like this thing of, if I buy this game, I'm going to spend $500. I don't. I'm working on a very tiny table. I could spend $500 on a table so you guys don't have to be restricted to this tiny view that you have. So yes, I also got the big box. The big box is it's over here somewhere and it's cluttered by fallen over stuff, but the big box of Deep Madness is just one box for you to hold everything. And they come with inserts for all the things. The only thing that it doesn't hold is the monsters. And they released another big box for that, which I didn't pay for because no. So I was able to, but if you're into it, I highly recommend this game. I think this game is fun. I think you and your group, or if you're playing solo like me, will really enjoy playing this. You will love it. You will think it's so much fun. I know, Kate. I had to be a responsible adult. I couldn't spend that much. My highest Kickstarter that I've ever backed, my highest Kickstarter is Etherfields. That is the most expensive one that I backed. And I am super excited for it to come in. It's going to be great. We're going to do a playthrough of that stuff, but that's the most expensive one, and I think that one ran me about $350, and I felt really bad about spending $350. And if I'm going to spend $500, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm going to buy Kingdom Death Monster. So I'm not going to do that. But I can't afford Kingdom Death Monster nor $500, so I'm not gonna get that right now. I did too. yeah. I went pretty much heavy on Etherfields only because the theme seems so rich with story and nuance that I just had to get it. If you want to know what type of game player I am, I love games with story. I will play any board game. But if you want me to come to the table and sit for hours and hours and hours on end and just be in it, you give me a board game with a story. I will play it. Like Dawes of the Lion. I will play that thing until I beat it every single nook and cranny because it's story rich. Deep Madness has story rich stuff. I've got 2 other games that I got as gifts from my friends and my girlfriend, and we're going to play those as well. I'm not going to spoil and tell you what it is because, meh. But we're going to get into those and go through it and just see what it's like. Just wait until you plunge into LCG territory. I have, Kate, I plunged into LCG territory. I have Arkham Horror, the card game. Because someone said, if you want a really good story, play this. And so I was like, and it was on sale for $20. And so I was like, okay, sure. So I bought it. I played the first scenario and I was like, I'm going to love this game, but I don't know how to play it properly. So I went and I looked at one of the YouTubers, I think is the Board Gamer Dan or something. And I watched his, and he taught me how to play it, but he left off a couple things that I need to figure out. And I'm probably going to join Facebook or do some deep reading on Googling to find out exactly how. The question I had was just, how many items can you have? Can I just have unlimited? You know, stuff like that. So I want to learn how to play, and Kate, wonderful as she is actually being really awesome and telling a beautiful story of her playthrough um, of Arkham Horror, and her writing is exquisite. So if you get a chance, check it out. It's great. But I'm reading her playthrough. I'm learning. I'm reading everything. So when I play Arkham Horror, we're getting into it. But we have to hold off on that because we've got Deep Madness, we got Jaws of the Lion, and then I leave one day open for me to play a game that's not story driven, so it doesn't feel like I'm churning and burning the same thing over and over again, and then you get sick of hearing me if you aren't already. So let's talk about up and coming things. The collection between the 5 games has probably run me around. Whoa! Wow! I have not spent that much. I don't judge you for it. I think that's awesome. If you lived in my area, we would be board gaming all the time because you have that many. So, let's see. Tomorrow, Jaws of the Lion. So tomorrow at 5:30 Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be doing Jaws of the Lion. Thursday, I'm going to be playing One Deck Dungeon. Never played it before. I need to read. And if you want to see a really good playthrough of One Deck Dungeon, Rob's Gaming Table as well as Licator's channel has really good playthroughs of it. But I need to read to learn how to play that game because there's an aspect of it that makes no sense to me, so I need to figure it out. And then on Sunday, we're back to Deep Madness for Chapter 2, Last Shuttle to Hell. So it sounds awesome. This game is great. Thank you so much. I want to thank my Patreons giving me any type. Thank you, because thank you. I think too, you know, hey, I may be a little bit extroverted, but I'm very shy when it comes to like that type of stuff because I'm like, you know, but that you've taken the time to really invest in me and say you're enjoying what I'm doing and you want to see more and you want me to grow. It means a lot. It means a heck of a lot, and hearts all the way around. Love you so much. Thank you to my subscribers. I'm trying to do that shot of I made 50 and when I made 50 I was like, oh my gosh, I have 50 subscribers, woo! So I mean, like, having I know that is pittance compared to people out there in the world. I don't care. It's me. I love it. I love that people come join me here and watch me play. I'm happy that they got that many. I really am, and dreams and hopes and one day maybe I'll get there, and if not, I don't care. I just want to be able to enjoy and people like what I'm doing and me fix the errors that's going on. All right, Hans. And just yeah. And yeah, so I have my Patreon if you care to join to help build the channel. Every dime goes back into it. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy what's going on. Hit the bell to get reminded of any games that you want to check and see to be notified. Comment if I've made any errors. I've already outlined some of them that I'm going to note and fix. But comment if I made any other errors that you notice that I need to take care of. And that's pretty much it. So thank you so much. Insert comment of take care of yourselves, blah 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 here. I love you so much. Please be safe out there, and I'll see you tomorrow for my next playthrough. Bye everybody.